driving 6 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today and this evening, tonight, depending upon where in the world you are. Hey, if this is your first time to the lounge, thank you for being here. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you for being here. We had some people earlier today say that this was their first time. They were new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber, hey, let me know. I'd love to know in the chat. I am so thankful that you're here and that you choose to spend some time with us here at the channel, because I have fun with you guys. You guys make this journey here on YouTube so much fun. And yeah, I'm ready to have a good time with you guys. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Look, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where we can get together and talk about the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that you enjoy, if those are things that get your blood pumping, that get you running for your life away from scary monsters that may or may not be alien in nature, may or may not have fallen from the sky, and may be a part of the Lost and Alias universes, all because of a little drink called Slusho? I don't know. Then hey, hit that subscribe button, all right, so that you can become part of this growing community of nerds. Anyways, guys, tonight we're just gonna hang out for a little while. Welcome to February. It is February, and it is officially the birthday of a very special lady in my life. That's right. It is now officially Tiff-tastic's birthday. You just leave her right there. Just leave her right there and just look at her all night long. It's this lovely lady's birthday. Happy birthday, Tiff-tastic. I love you so much, and I am so glad that you are along on this journey with me. And happy birthday, babe. So last year at this time, Tiffany and I were in a galaxy far, far away. We were on the planet Batu at Galaxy's Edge. And then the whole world changed, it seemed. But we were able to get that in, and we had a good time. And so this year, we just spent some time together watching some shows. And tomorrow we're going to have a party. Tomorrow we are going to have a stream, a special stream for Tiff. So look for that. It'll be later. It'll be early evening sometime. So look for that tomorrow, and come join us and have a little bit of fun with Tiff and the boys and me and celebrate that lovely lady's birthday. All right, because I know you guys love her, and we have fun. So before we jump in, real quick, I want to say a shout out to all of our, as always, I want to say a shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys for your support and what you guys mean to the channel. I really, really appreciate you. I need to update this membership list, and I will update this membership list. And I want to thank everybody for being members. Remember, if you become a member or the Patreon, you get all kinds of different perks. You get videos that nobody else sees. You get vlogs. You get all kinds of fun behind the scenes stuff and stuff that we show you. And then also, if you become a member, you get cool emoticons, and you get to, so that you can use them here in the live streams and whatnot. And so we would love to have you join up with the channel for sure. And I do want to say a shout out to our newest members here at the channel, because we do have some brand new members, and so I don't want to leave anybody out for sure. So I want to say a shout out to Saggy Melons. Saggy Melons, who is now a member here at the channel, and Pelican74. Welcome to both of you. We are so glad that you are now officially a part of the Poindexter Lounge in a membership capacity, and we're just grateful to all of you guys. We're grateful to all of you for being a part of the lounge. And look, this week I'm going to put out a poll for everyone with a couple of new emoticons for you guys to actually vote on. And so I want to give you guys that opportunity this week. But a shout out to them. Thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you to just everyone who just supports the channel by watching the videos, whatever. You guys are fantastic. You guys have really responded well to this logo, and that's really cool. Thank you. You blow me away with that. So we got this logo on t-shirts and mugs and a bunch of different things that you can find in our Teespring. And also we got this brand new hat. We got this both in this snapback and also a trucker hat. And so if you are so inclined, you know what, we got the cheapest prices around. I make it as cheap as possible. Literally, I make it as cheap as possible because we just want people to have stuff. And I shared the story earlier today. Our good friend Darth Tasty here at the channel, he was wearing his 2 cents on nonsense shirt. We do a show. If you're new to the channel, we do a show every Thursday called Our 2 Cents on Nonsense, where we just talk about crazy theories and stuff that's out there about Star Wars and different things in the nerd community. And I do that with my friend Johnny Pop. And so this design is on a shirt. It's actually on this shirt right here. And so he's got a green one, and he was wearing it around the Philadelphia area. And somebody saw his shirt and literally stopped him and said, "Hey, that's a Poindexter Lounge shirt. You watch the Poindexter Lounge too?" And so, you know, bringing people together. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is all about. It's about bringing nerds together. It's about this nerd family coming together. And so, hey, that's a pretty cool thing. And so, those are all things that are there for you. And but look, nobody expects you to buy a thing. Nobody expects you to give a thing. We're just glad that you are here. One thing we do like to give back, and I announced it earlier today on our last stream. This is stream number 2 for the day. And we had a really great stream this afternoon. Talked about a lot of different topics. Everything from the Snyder Cut to things to do with Ray Fisher and the new book coming out about the Snyder Cut and by Sean O'Connell. And we just talked about a lot of different things. We talked about the new Martian Manhunter quote that came out. We talked about just a lot of fun stuff. But one of the things that we mentioned, every month we like to do giveaways. Last month, well, not last month now, but in the month of December, we did 3 giveaways. And so because of that, we just didn't jump into doing a giveaway for January. So this month we're going to do 2 giveaways. So this we will give away on Valentine's Day for 2/14, and keep your eyes open because something big is going to happen on 2/14. A lot of speculation right now that we may get the Justice League trailer on 2/14 at 2/14. Who knows? But keep your eye out for that. But on 2/14, we're going to give this bad boy away, which is Batman Noir, The Long Halloween. So on Valentine's Day, we're going to give away The Long Halloween. Dawson from Nerdy in Many Ways has this. It's very cool. It's black and white. It's the entire story, just like that. And this is, look at that. That's hardcover there, baby. That's hardcover. And you can get this. All you got to do is we open it up to everybody. So if you give a super chat at any point during the month of February, if you give if you become a member, or if you're a member at any point, you're in the running automatically, as well as being a Patreon supporter. But if you give a super chat at any time between now and the 13th, because we'll give it away on the 14th, anytime between now and then, you're in the running for this. All right. And then after that, kind of fitting for what we're talking about tonight, I picked up a couple of things for you guys. But we'll talk about this because then after that, we're going to give away this bad dude at the end of the month, the Cloverfield 3-movie collection. Cloverfield, you know, Dawson and I were talking about this. Dawson and I are going to do a 3-part series on the Cloverfield movies because, as we're talking about tonight, there's a new Cloverfield movie coming. And so I'm really excited about that. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that a little bit with some guests and some people. And so, yeah, so it's kind of low key, you know, Cloverfield is. And so you don't have to like everything about it, but there's some interesting things there. And I'm really hoping that they answer some questions. We actually just tonight, me and my family, we completed this with the boys. I've already seen them, obviously, but we completed them with our boys and finished with the Cloverfield Paradox, which I got to be honest with you, I don't understand why it took so much heat. It got a lot of heat, and I don't know why. And but you know what? It's all right. It's okay. But if you like the Cloverfield movies, this can be yours as well. And this is same structure. So you have 2 chances of getting something from the lounge this month. And as always, if you want us to sign anything or whatever, we will do that. We gave away a Patty Jenkins pop vinyl, and I still haven't mailed it out from last month because I haven't had a chance to go over to my grandma's house, because a lot of you guys have seen my grandmother here on the channel from this video intro that we did.
Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. I'm Enosh's grandma, and I say yes, release the Snyder Cut.
That's right. Even grandma knows. Congratulations, Zach.
So the film was finished in the cut that I am working on was finished in February.
Yeah, so there's some other wonderful ladies there with Zack Snyder, and so they wanted the pop vinyl signed by the whole family and my grandma. And so I just got to get over to my grandma's house and talk to her a few times on the phone, but I have not actually gotten over there yet to get her to sign that. But we will definitely do that. Also, an update on our brick. We are expecting a final proof for the brick for Zack Snyder. A lot of you guys know we did a GoFundMe campaign to put a brick in at the Superman Museum down in Metropolis, Illinois. And look, if you've never been to the Superman Museum, you got to go to the Superman Museum. If you're a Superman fan or a DC fan of any kind, you need to go to the Superman Museum at some point. And so we raised some funds, and we're going to put in one of these bricks. They have it so that you can put like these memorial bricks and things. And so we raised the money, and we're having it installed. And so we're just waiting for the final proof. And I actually pressured them a little bit, because apparently they wait until they get like so many, orders before they go ahead and order them so that they can, get them all done at once. And I kind of pressured them a little bit. I said, hey, you know what? I had a lot of people who gave a couple months ago, and it's taken a little while. Is there any way, even, if we have to pay a little bit extra, I'd definitely be willing to do that, and put some more money with it. But they said, no, you know what, let us get back to you. And so we're waiting on it. And so it will say, if you seek his monument, look around you. And then it will say, to the family of Zack and Deborah Snyder, the Poindexter Lounge, and your many associate producers. So there you go. So I think that's all of our just kind of stuff, what's going on around the channel. We're back. We're happy. Things are going well for the channel, and it's all because of you guys. And so I'm very, very grateful to have you guys around. Really quick, want to say a shout out to Ryan. What's up? What's up, Andrew? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Fear Jason? Let's go. He says, what's up, Jeff Glatfelty? Geek Studios in the house for sure. Jenner Custom Toys, my good friend Bruce, who makes all these wonderful custom toys for me, these wonderful Star Wars custom toys, and sends them to me. And like, I love making friends, man. I love making friends. And met him through his eBay store, and even through that, man, we ended up becoming good friends. What's up, Music Man? Good to see you. Says, how's everything? Everything is good. What's up, Jacob? You made it. I'm glad you made it, sir. What's up, Richard Gilbert? What's up, Kinky Sphincter? Okay. So what is up? Dex Siam Boren. He says, yo, Enosh. Yo, what's up? What's up, Tiff-tastic? Good to see you in the chat there. Happy birthday. What's up, Brad? Says, hi. What's going on, Enosh? What's up, Master of None says, just drank some Theraflu, playing some Xbox, going to bed. Have fun tonight. Happy birthday, Tiff. Well, I don't know, man. If you took some Theraflu, it'd be fun to have you in here, man, and hear you on Theraflu. That's always fun. I could go take a Benadryl and we could just make a night of it. That'd be kind of fun, or some NyQuil. Always up for some fun. What's up, Ryan Zeverfed? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Barcelona B says, what's up? Happy birthday, Tiff. A lot of happy birthday Tiffs in the chat. And thank you guys for that. Here says, happy birthday, Tiff. You are such a wonderful wife to Enosh. And she is. She really, really is. She's absolutely fantastic. That's why we call her Tiff-tastic. Jacob says, happy birthday, Tiff. Music Man says, happy birthday, Tiff. Brad says, happy birthday, Tiff. I know I'm not going to end up getting to everybody, but everybody's saying happy birthday to Tiff, and rightfully so, because she's really fantastic. Yes, Max, and I sent you a link, buddy, but yes, Max, Saggy Melons is a member. She's one of our newest members, and so we're glad to have her. And he also says, I know, Enosh, you got something great. I know Enosh got you something great, Tiff-tastic. Hope you have an amazing birthday. Yep, I got this whole pile of stuff over here that I have to, after the show goes off tonight, I have to go wrap all that stuff. So probably won't be one of our, legendary, 5-hour streams tonight. Sorry to let you down. What's up, Jesse Allen? Good to see you. Around these domes. Cloverfield is my favorite monster movie of all time. We're going to talk about that, and I'll tell you what, there is a good argument for that, Bruce. So I saw the first part of it and I liked it, and then I had to stop it because something was going on, so I got to come back to it. I saw your Carl video though. Yeah, Andrew, we'll get you in here in just a few minutes. Give me just a few minutes here. Brad says, first time joining the live stream. Happy to be here, Enosh. Brad, glad to have you here, man. Definitely glad to have you here. I don't know how much of a panel we're going to have. I do have a couple of guys, though, and we'll have some fun for sure. And you know what? Maybe we'll just open it up and let others in here tonight. Cristiano says, Cloverfield 2, yes, please. I want Matt Reeves to come back to direct the sequel, though. You know what? That'd be kind of cool. And so we're gonna jump to that. What's up, Hussein? Says, Enosh, can you DM me the link to the GoFundMe for the brick? So actually the GoFundMe for the brick is done. It's all paid for. So any money that we were raising on top of that, we were giving to suicide prevention, the AFSP. And so actually the link for the brick is all paid for. It's all paid for. It's ordered. Now I'm just waiting for the final proof. They sent when you make it, you type up what you want it to say, but it just gives you that little digital thing there. The Cloverfield paradox is fine. I don't get the hates too. Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. Yes, for everything that we do here, it's randomly selected winners. So we put together the list of everyone who's given a super chat. We put together our list of people who are members and people who are Patreon supporters. And, we do kind of remove the people who've won, recently in the last, few months. And so that it's fair to everybody, so one person's not, winning constantly or something like that. But yeah, yes, check this out. Yes, it is new. This is my new Cobra Commander mask. I actually did a video with it already. Isn't that cool? It's pretty cool. I really like that mask. And I've been gotten a few masks lately, actually. I also have this here Snake Eyes mask. Check that out. I like that. I dig that a lot. All right. So speaking of masks, we're going to go ahead and jump on in. We're going to jump into our conversation here and go from there. And then I will send out an invite. What's up, Truth? Hey, Truth, if you're hanging out, man, why don't you jump on in here, buddy? I'd love to have you in here here as well. I'll send you a link here as well, and I got a couple to send out. But first, I'd like to bring in a couple of my friends. First of all, speaking of masks.
Oh yeah, I was watching, chilling on my couch with my dogs, and I'm like, oh, and you said, oh yeah, I sent a link. I'm like, okay, cool. I just finished the stream earlier. I think we did. It was genuine conversation. I'm trying. I hear the criticism of I have to get more control of my stream. I think I tried harder, but we had a good conversation, and I like it. But I'm working on it. I want to have hard topics, but still maintain control of my stream, which is hard.
It can
be hard. Yeah,
it is. It is hard, but you know what? You can do it. I know you can do it. You know, I was listening to some of your stream, Max. They're talking about some, and some of the stuff is hard to talk about.
Right.
It's we talked about today the Ray Fisher and O'Connell thing, and and I just shared with it, because I love everybody involved. Obviously I support Ray Fisher, but it's like I shared today. I don't really know anything about that situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I haven't read the book. I haven't read the book personally, and I don't know Sean. I've never talked to him personally. And so
my main point was that we have to examine his point of view too. He is within Access Media. This is his job. He has to be careful about what he includes in there. It's not going to, like, a book released within the time period of it actually being on HBO Max is not going to have all the details. It's more for people that don't know, like people that are interested, like normies. We know all the details. And even though I would have loved the Ray Fisher forward, and I know you would have too.
Absolutely.
It might not have been up to Sean, really. We don't know that. We don't know because of it's still fluid, volatile situation, unfortunately. Back and forth, but still not completely resolved. So you don't know. And I mean, I think I had the concern is why we fight. And I said that's Zack Snyder's own words there before. We have to pick battles. We're so passionate as a fan base. We can't go battle every single battle. Let's be happy with what we have. It's all about the Snyder Cut. All the supplemental stuff is gravy, really.
Well, Max, that's what I would say. Like, because I've seen recently, a lot of people like having an issue with the hashtag Us United.
Yes, I am for it. Yeah, I am for it. I haven't personally used it. I like it, and I know you can't. I see you try. Enosh, I see a lot trying. It's hard to please everyone. That's another thing I say.
Yeah.
It's hard to please everyone, and you can only do is try your best and understand, but we can't lose focus that it's not really about us. If we don't get what our hopes and expectations leave black holes and revelations. We can't let our expectations lose our joy. There are a lot that are responsible for the success. I haven't been in the game. I've always been a supporter of Release the Snyder Cut, but I wasn't like hashtagging every day like some of these people in this community. Yeah. So I totally respect that, and I understand you deserve recognition too. But if not everyone gets it, we can't rush to. I haven't read the book itself. I think I might buy it. I'm thinking about buying it. It does still support the fun too.
Yeah, man. So I'll just be honest with you, man. Like, it's like I've been trying to tell people, right? Hold on just a second. I'm sending here. This is my opinion about this. So a lot of people talking about, hashtag Us United, and they're saying, well, we're not united. I've seen, we've all seen the streams. We've all heard
I say Nicotina and the Nerd Queens are trying their darndest to include everyone. But you also have to be careful.
Look. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this straight up. Okay. Look, I'm a nobody. Yeah. Okay. I'm a nobody. I didn't do anything special to get anybody's attention or whatever.
Right.
You know what though? I try to be a nice guy. I try to be a fair guy.
Yes.
I try to be, I try not to have an
I believe
agenda.
you. Right.
I try not to have an agenda. There's been people who've accused me of that because of my stance with Ray Fisher. But this has been my whole point, just like with the O'Connell thing today. Look, I know that I have friends who are on both sides of that issue. And I just straight up said, look, if you hear something from me, it's gonna be because if I share with you an opinion about it, I don't just pull stuff out of my butt and like, hey, here's an opinion just to, you know,
it's recognize your positive focus. And yes, I know you generally want to talk to Ray just because you like him.
Yeah,
and you respect him. Yeah,
and so like when that thing came up, is like I just shared. I said, you know, like I don't have a personal beef with anybody.
Right.
I haven't seen all the stuff that I've heard people talk about. I need to do some more research on it. I'm just reporting what is out here today. This is what he said. This is what Ray said. This was the apology back to Ray.
Right. He did do that.
And you know, I got to say this. At least I don't know if there's underlying things there. I don't know if there's any residual, you know, Ray hasn't come back and said anything, you know, about that. But I will say this, at least Sean, he's the only one out of all those people who's actually come back and apologized. And he tried to explain it. He said, you know, I didn't misunderstand. He said, I misunderstood this. He says, I thought it, you know, it was this or whatever. And so, you know, now whether or not that's, you know, the full truth or not, I don't know. But but the
it's
thing
too
that
hard to tell. Right?
Yeah. But the thing that I do know is that was just, I had to report it. That was what was going on. So we talked about it earlier today and we move on. But as far as hashtag Us United, what I keep trying to remind people is, look, okay, I get it. Zach's going around on streams. You know, there's different people doing things going around on streams, you know, obviously Ray Porter, you know, whatever. Okay. My experience has been, if you don't try, it's a real fine line in being eager and trying to befriend people. And then sometimes things can make people feel uncomfortable,
right.
Or whatever. And so you just got to be yourself. And look, if Zack Snyder never comes on my stream, Max,
right.
I'm still going to be happy.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, Max, Zach doesn't have to come here. Now, would I love to have Zach?
Sure.
Absolutely. And I would treat him with respect and I would be happy to have him, just like when we've had Ray or both Rays, you know, both Ray Porter and Ray Fisher now. So like, I'm excited to have them. But the thing is like this idea of like, you know, I don't know, man. There's just all these different things, you know, that have been thrown out. There's a lot of emotions been said. And it's like, I've just tried to tell people, look, I love a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, from a lot of different points of view, and I love them all. Okay. Right. But the reality is this, using hashtag Us United doesn't mean that we agree on everything.
No, it means to try. It's something to strive for.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah.
It means to use the hashtag Us United means we came together for the Snyder Cut.
And that's a Zach approved hashtag, isn't it?
Yes.
Did he work that out with the Nerd Queens?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the thing is that is something that when you see that, it's not about, well, I agree with everything that this streamer says or that streamer says or does or said behind the scenes or whatever. Like that's
the last event that Nicotina and the Nerd Queens put together. What was that last event that you were included? That was a monumental task to get all the different personalities. Deck the Hall of Justice. That was a monumental task.
Yeah.
And I listen, I don't expect anyone on my show, because I'm more controversial. I would say, Zach, stay away from my channel because I don't want any heat on him, because you know, he has to be careful too. There's a reason he goes to certain people first, because he knows if he interacts with someone that's more controversial, we have to understand that there's decisions that are made for a reason.
Well, and look, here's the other thing. Okay.
They try their best, I think.
They do. And there's some people that speak their mind. They put their mind out there, and that's not a bad thing. But if you're not as flexible, sometimes you can't expect everybody to necessarily agree to appear, I guess. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Zach is like sitting up in some golden tower somewhere.
No, he's too busy. He doesn't even have time.
Yeah,
he barely has time to do what he does, really.
Yeah. So I don't feel like I see that that Zach is doing that, or like, you know, alienating people or whatever, you know.
You're
gonna
go to the people you feel comfortable that have all the interests and precautions that you know. That's why he goes to certain people first.
Max,
It's why
you come here. Max, it's why you come here. It's why I go on your channel. It's why the people that we all stream with, we all stream together.
But I do think it's an important conversation, though, too, because I think you have to examine what Sean O'Connell's into. Overly, if it's a plus thing for the Snyder Cut, it's not going to have all the juicy bits and stuff. But it's for people to know what. There's lots of people don't know how it got to here. The people that said it didn't exist don't know all the details.
Exactly.
They don't know.
Well, and we've seen that, right? We've seen that all these people who came out and said that it didn't exist.
There's digging up of Sean O'Connell's old tweets where he wasn't so positive about Snyder's verse. But guess what? Throw a stone, you'll hit at Access Media that said something in the past about Snyder's movies. Every single one of them.
And I've told people too about this because I've heard some people say, well, hey, this person or that person, they weren't initially supportive of the Snyder Cut.
Doesn't matter.
Like they weren't around from the beginning. And I told them, I'm like, isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? You know what I mean? Because I've seen a couple people come after the Nerd Queens even because they've allowed like people, you know, they've become friends with some people who may not have been around from the beginning, right?
We want Snyder's love to spread, like people that didn't like Batman v Superman to be like, wow, now I get it. Now I get it.
Absolutely.
So you want to convince people. You want
action.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right. We want that.
I'll tell you what though, I've been having a lot of fun. After the events of last week, I've been having so much fun getting back to basics on my channel and meeting people like Nick and Lex are amazing people.
Heck yeah, man.
And I can't wait to collab with them again. I have a guy, Cyrus Martin, that we had on. I want you to meet him because he also does an Emperor impersonation. I got to see the Emperors go at each other. But thanks for having me on. Did you cover the Robert Meyer Burnett stuff?
I didn't know about new Robert Meyer Burnett stuff.
I could give you some. This is juicy.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this first. Let's do this first because I got a couple people in the back. So we'll bring everybody in, and then we'll just jump into our topics and just kind of go through everything because I've got 3 stories that I wanted to talk about.
Sorry. I don't mean to derail.
No, because I'm interested. Like, because Robert Meyer Burnett has been on the show, and I've enjoyed Robert Meyer Burnett, and so we can absolutely. This is exactly right. Making converts is all our mission.
Right. Yes.
Right. Call us a cult if you will.
Spread the cult
if you will, man. We want to bring in everybody. Like there's so many people that I've talked to, Max, and you just mentioned it, that it's like they weren't on board at first. And you know what? Even in the back.
Roxy Stryer tweeted out today, I denied the Snyder Cut before, but I'm for it now. That's what you said.
And look, and if somebody's coming from a genuine place with that and not just trying to appease and go, well, yeah, I was here all along, guys. I was here from the beginning and I supported it. Like when we know you didn't, you know what I mean? Don't come in saying that. Right. That's not genuine. That's not trying to acknowledge something and move forward to heal and be good, right? Together. That's not that. That's trying to save face. And we're not about that. We're not about just trying to save face. We're about bringing people together. But somebody who's in this exact same position that just mentioned it in from the back room is our good friend. You might know him as Mike Zero. Just kidding. He just does a really good Mike
Zero.
No, he just does a really good Mike Zero impersonation. But he just said even in the back, and I'll let him speak this before we move on. But he said, I'll say my piece. I wasn't on board at first. It took Affleck to tweet the tag for me to get on board. See, that's honesty. And now he's there. Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome Theo TW McKay. What's up, brother?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Oh, great.
Good, man.
Nice to talk to you again, TW McKay.
Yes, it's good. I've always been missing a lot of your streams, and also I want to say, Max, my condolences, man. I'm sorry that happened.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yes, it was my best friend growing up. I was at his house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We lost.
Aw.
We kept in touch. We were always like, we got to do something. We got to do something, and he didn't. So that's when I said, if you're thinking about someone you don't reach out to them because I regret not calling him a few months ago. I was about to, and I didn't.
Oh, no.
And you just never know what's going to happen. He just relapsed with some old issues.
Oh.
I'm
And
sorry,
he was clean for so many years. That's also why I'm genuinely concerned about Ben Affleck. I'm not saying anything. I'm not doing the rumors, but he's also he recently.
He's someone who's dealt with his own issues in a rather public way.
I'm always concerned
himself.
about Ben because he's so talented. And then he had his recent breakup with. I'd like to one day do like a day we care about Ben Affleck or something and tweet out to him, just say, hey, we're thinking of you, Ben. I was going to do something about that.
I was watching Mallrats the other night, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. No,
oh my god, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Because
I got one more guy in the back. I got one more guy in the back, and then we'll go ahead and jump into some stuff. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a friend of the show. He's definitely a friend of mine and Max's, and we love this guy, and we've stood up for this guy. We look, no matter what anybody says, we like this guy, and I'm glad that he likes us, and he is welcome. He's welcome to come and go as he pleases, because you all are here at the Poindexter Lounge. Don't think that any of us are trying to twist your arm and get you to think a certain way or do a certain thing. That's not what we're about. We accept everybody, all points of view. Like I always say, as long as you treat everybody with respect, like even in my chat, we had a situation in my last stream where somebody came in and they had some negative opinions about Ray Fisher, but they took something too far.
Okay.
And I had to step in because my moderators hadn't stepped in, and I said something and I put that person in a timeout. I spoke up in the middle of the stream and I put that person in a timeout. And you know what? When they came back, they said, "You're right. I apologize." And we moved on, and like I had people in the chat, yes, who were calling because what the person said was bad, but they were saying, Enosh, you should just ban him. And I don't want to ban anybody. I'm not about kicking anybody out or telling somebody that they've got to earn my trust back or whatever. That, I don't need to do that. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. He's our resident Spider-Man aficionado and lover of all things Spider-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. A member and he's a Patreon supporter. And
cool.
Yeah, so he's definitely in the running for that Batman Noir book. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Casali. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, everyone.
I hope your internet's good tonight, buddy, so that we can talk about it.
Don't worry, this computer is fine.
Awesome.
Both of us have good internet tonight. This is a good thing because during the big comeback stream, I know Max, you were there. I was there for 5 seconds and I was gone.
Oh
yes.
And I'm gonna do this. I will put the link in the chat.
Yeah, we get the front row seat.
Yeah, but here's what I will tell you. I always do this with a prerequisite because I can't promise that I'll get you in. Right? We'll try to get you in. But it depends upon how the conversation's going, what we're talking about, what's going on or whatever. But you're more than welcome to try. And you know what? If we get filled up, we get filled up. Sometimes it bumps people out and I can't control that or whatever. So so just know that. But you're more than welcome to try, and we will try to get you in. So the link is now in the chat. So I guess before we jump into our main stories tonight, Max, you said you got some.
It's the topic conversation. Robert Meyer Burnett had a hot stream, and he has connections.
I saw that.
And he mentioned.
Well, we're gonna video with Truth 31.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it so Enosh has not seen this yet.
Trust me, dude, you'll like it.
It throws heat. It does throw heat. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I have too many tabs up. Hold on a second.
I apologize for missing the stream. It sounded like it was fun.
Well, yeah, it was. He does good streams. I haven't had him on yet. I remember Enosh. I do hope to have him on one day. Here we go. Tell me if you can all hear. You can all.
No, hold on a second. Let me pull it up here.
Yep. Oh, you know why Warner Brothers decided to reconstruct Justice League into a 4-hour movie? Of course, I want to know. Please tell me. And the answer is, as it always, all roads lead back to Toby Emmerich. Toby Emmerich, the architect of the day and date strategy of releasing movies both in the theater and on HBO Max day and date in 2021. Why? Well, Toby Emmerich, he's been around for a long time. He's got a great name in the entertainment business. I admire Toby Emmerich, but you know what? He's on the wrong side of the fence at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is a house divided. They got the old guard. Hey, we work at the Warner Brothers Studios, and then you have the new guard that comes in, and they're streaming. I'll tell you something. Nobody who works at Warner Brothers even wants to release physical media anymore. I mean, some people do, but what I mean is the new
physical media
people that run AT&T. Our boy Jason over there, he thinks that every time they sell a piece of physical media, that's one subscriber they're not getting to HBO Max. And you know what? He's probably not wrong. I have to say, I'll flat out say, I know they might have had issues in the beginning launching. I really like the HBO Max app. The fact they dropped Babylon 5 the other day, I'm quite enjoying their functionality. I really like the way it looks. I don't think I've ever seen it buffer. I think their app works really, really well. I am a fan of HBO Max. I loved watching The Little Things here in Los Angeles. We can't.
Oh, that was
can't go to the
amazing.
movies. It was fun to watch The Little Things.
I have to see. I've only seen a trailer for that, but I really, really want to see that. It looks really good.
And then I saw some other. Oh yes, it's amazing. I think it's award worthy. And then I saw some other tweets from people I know in the Snyder Cut community where he says he goes more into depth about the Toby Emmerich angle at WB and how it's kind of messing with his, he's like he said, the wrong side, still trying to. It's upsetting that again we keep going back to this bad, regardless of where you, even with the Ray Fisher thing, wherever you say
it's a vicious cycle.
It all is back to WB, and having their dirty laundry in the public eye for this long is a shame. They cannot get it under control. They should not be able to have this. They're still not getting it together because they're letting it linger out there.
Yep.
Fix this. Fix this. Fix it now. Fix it now. Robert Meyer Burnett even called, and he says, I respect Toby Emmerich. He says, I respect him, but talked about it. Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit earlier tonight, Max. I mean, the fact that like all this stuff is going on right now, you got AT&T promoting it. You've got the Snyder Cut. You've got Warner Media. You got HBO Max supporting it. All these people are all these groups.
All except WB.
But Warner Brothers.
It's sickening.
Is not.
Because at the very least, they could say we're happy that he gets to complete his vision.
Yeah.
And even if they're not rooting for the future, this is ridiculous that it's gone this far, and it's all WB still. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You cannot leave this out to the public this long.
I feel like WB is doing this like how that line Superman said BVS where it says, next time you shine that hashtag in the sky, don't go to it. The cut is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy. I feel like that's what WB is.
The perfect example I thought about when, as far as joking about release the Snyder Cut, you guys have seen Harley Quinn, obviously.
Yep.
If you might remember, the two nerds there sitting on the couch.
Yep. Yes.
One of them's literally wearing a Release the Snyder Cut shirt as a joke because the guy next to him is wearing a shirt that says, I'll return to the conversation, The Last Jedi sucks. Like, that's what the other guy's shirt says. So, like, they're making fun of the movement.
There's no way.
They're making fun of the movement. Oh, it's funny. It's still funny.
I didn't personally take that as a dig. I thought they were just having fun with us. I thought that was a more laugh with us moment than against us. I thought, but maybe people didn't.
Yeah, and I was probably at that point in the conversation, as I had mentioned, and as Enoch had mentioned earlier before, that took Affleck tweeting out the hashtag for me to get on board. I think I might have been on the side of kind of, laughing at, poking fun. Hey, look at these guys. They think this thing's real, and like I might have been there. I might have been. But I still find it funny. It was just kind of interesting that the animators, and I'm not sure whether it was in the script or it was just at the discretion of the animators, but it is what it was.
It's a weird thing to see pop up because you know that Disney wouldn't do that to a Marvel property.
Right.
Or better yet, the other shirt as mentioned in the conversation,
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah. With the Last Jedi or whatever, they wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like they're in unison with what they want to do and who they want to support, and
even if
supporting
there's
their own
something,
property.
yeah, exactly. Even if it's something that internally might be in flux, not like the Lucasfilm civil. No, none of that. But I'm saying even if there's some sort of internal conflict between any portion of the company, you never see it, or you don't see it publicly
We wanted
facing
this film
from the
since
company.
2017, and we're the toxic ones. Miss me.
Well, Barcelona B here does put it in a good way. Says Subway supports Zack Snyder's Justice League more than WB.
Yeah, we're afraid of it.
4-hour movie.
Right, it's a good point. And Zentech, good to see you, Zentech. I love this guy. I got to give a shout out to him. He's in Australia, and this guy, I love him so much. He messages me randomly every once in a while, and he says, "Hey man," he says, "I'm not on a live stream to be able to give you a super chat or whatever," and he'll send something via PayPal. And,
that's nice.
so we don't have a thing to show that he's given, but I want everybody to know he gave a $15 PayPal the other day, and so Zentech.
Yeah, I know Zentech.
Zentech is awesome, and I've really enjoyed getting to know Zentech over the last year.
Today, Zentech.
Been around as long as I've been around here, so.
Yeah, Zentech is fantastic. He's a good guy, and I definitely appreciate him. And I was gonna I had something I was gonna play here.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I had something I was gonna play. That's you know what? Just because you know what. You're one bad dude, Zentech. I was telling somebody about you the other day, and I was like, man, this is a cool guy, man. He's a musician. He does some really cool stuff. He looks cool, you know what I mean, and everything. So you know what? Just for you, Dirty Harry.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Because you make my day. You make my day, buddy, every time that you're ever on the stream and whatnot. Hey, somebody else who makes my day. Oh, and he just disappeared. He just disappeared. He was here. He was here.
All right. Oh, Tony.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
Good to see you, buddy.
I'm doing. I'm good.
Good to see you.
How is everybody doing?
Doing good, man.
Great.
I haven't seen you. I work too much, guys. I'm sorry. I'm only here Sunday, Monday. That's all I'm available now, unless it's late night.
Okay.
So,
busy dude.
Yeah.
Busy.
I got a promotion, and yeah, it sounds great, but it sucks ass. It just means I work way more. That's all. And I have an important title. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, we're just glad you're back, buddy. Real quick, I am going to go back to that last comment, but Cup of Malik, hello. You are not late. We're getting ready to talk about our main topics tonight. So you're here at just the right time. Comic book Craig movies brings up an interesting point, and I do have an answer for this because he says, here's what I don't get. Wasn't it Toby Emmerich that called Snyder getting the cut? Also, playing devil's advocate, since Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't a WB property, why would they support it? So here's a couple of interesting things.
That's an interesting question.
And I get what you're saying, because I do understand, like, technically it's probably not a Warner Brothers thing right now, but given the history and given everything that's happened, they are sister companies. You know what I mean? Like Warner Media and Warner Brothers, and given the bad blood that's been there, look, like Barcelona said, Barcy said, Subway, that is not owned by Warner Brothers, is literally giving shout outs about the Snyder cut, right? You know for sure that Arby's, man, is going to have.
He has to do his own promotion.
So the thing is it, look, AT&T is technically the parent company, but AT&T is the phone thing, man, and the cable thing, right? And they're promoting it. Warner Media, other Warner outlets are promoting it. Literally everybody's coming together to say, hey, congratulations, let's do this. Let's get the Snyder cut. Let's do this. Like I know it's because I've gone through a lot of footage in the last couple of days because I've got this song that I'm putting out called Associate Producer.
Yes.
And so one of the parts of the song, there's a breakdown in the song where I'm going to show clips of people's initial reaction to when it was made public. Right. From that day. And so I've been watching all these clips. And I've been watching all these people's like emotional support and just
they're probably like this.
like they're like, because they felt like I did. You know what I mean? Like that day. That day. What's that? What'd you say, Tony?
I'm sure Andrew cried a little. So,
well, like I'll tell you what, I was so excited. I don't know if you've seen mine, but I was so excited.
You were walking in the kitchen going, "Oh my god, guys! Oh my god!"
Heck yeah, man! I was so excited.
Could we watch a little bit of yours? I don't know.
Yeah.
He was in the kitchen when
because so here was the interesting thing about that. So that day I was home from work because obviously I was working from home, right? Yeah, COVID. And so I'm laying on the couch, and here's the funny thing about that. I was laying on the couch, and I was watching Man of Steel, and I was kind of in and out of consciousness throughout the movie. You know what I mean? But I was listening, and I'm just kind of laying on the couch, and it was all good. But then when it started getting towards the end, like I watched the last, like I was totally awake for like probably the last half hour of the movie, and then all of the discussion afterwards. And as they started talking, when that one lady, and I can't remember her name right now, but when that one lady literally came out and just asked the question, when are you going to release the Snyder Cut? I was almost like, no, don't ask that. Like, I almost didn't want to know. Like, even though the rumors were out there that it was coming, I was just like, don't be so bold.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved her asking. When are you going to release?
Oh, now I do.
Yeah, she was like this. When you release the Snyder Cut.
Well, and now I do. And you know what? Now it was probably pre-planned. You know what I mean? It was probably pre-planned for her to ask that, obviously, because they had it ready to go. But the thing is like part of me was kind of like, because I don't know if I want the answer. If the answer's no, then I'm going to be like, oh, man. But as soon as it was done, as soon as it was out there and it was said that, that this was what was going on, I took right to doing a live here in my
this one. I watched it.
And so here was my
Gosh, it's happening. It's 2021. Zack Snyder just announced on the live stream.
Like a kid in a candy store.
That Zack, I can barely talk. Zack Snyder's Justice League is real. It's coming 2021. Look, even the dog's excited. Harley Quinn's excited, aren't you, Harley? Yes, you are.
Yes,
oh my gosh, guys,
it's
real. All this time, all this speculation, this stuff of wondering if it was coming. Oh my gosh, it's true. It's real. It's tangible.
Mm-hmm.
It is coming. It is there. I'm at a loss. Oh my gosh, I am like losing my mind. I wish that I had been live streaming for you guys myself when he just announced, because it was so nonchalant. If you guys were on the live stream and watched him, it was just so like,
he almost like, hey, did he say it? Did he say it?
I can't show it to you, but I got this.
Is it coming?
What do you think about this? That and just shows that that it's coming.
You're literally speechless.
On HBO. Oh my gosh, guys.
That's not far off from how I felt.
Absolutely real and happening. Man, I'm telling you what's up, Sky? What's up, William? What's up?
You still got your chat to look at.
That's awesome. That's an awesome name. Oh my gosh.
It's real.
It's real.
I go walk into the house.
It's alive.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But I can't. I think for me,
right, William. Now I got to go out and I'm gonna have to get HBO Max, right? Yes.
You didn't have it before.
Angar, they just finished the live stream. In fact,
I was at work all day, so
It was like in the middle of the afternoon or something, wasn't it?
Bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
but
around. I think it was like around noon Eastern time or something like that.
Yeah, so I might have been at work, and then I was coming home for the day, and then I just kind of opened my phone because I'm like, oh, maybe they'll announce something, and I'm like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no.
Oh, man.
So Max,
Oh, no, I
Hanks.
upset the ball sack.
Tom Hanks, ball sack 69. He's
What
changed
the
the name
hell?
now a couple of
I'm
times.
sorry.
Boy.
Okay, hold on.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
Tom.
everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. I'm going to give Max the floor, and I'm going to allow Max to address Mr. Ballsack.
Tom Hanks, ball sack, 69. He. I am so sorry. I have a hard time multitasking. I need contacts. I saw you there, man. It'll never happen again. I will never throw shade on the ball sack. You were yes. Sorry, never again. Tom Hanks, ball sack. 69,
You will never.
I do actually have to get the bed suit too. Unfortunately, I'm having so much fun, but I got a long day at work. But I do. I don't.
But I want you to be here for the first topic, though, at least.
Okay. Well, I do want to show this because Chubby Teddy. Everyone, the Snyder Cut loves Chubby Teddy.
Absolutely.
He mentioned something on my stream. I was like, wow, is the imagery so? I missed it. I did not see this on. I don't know if anyone else has covered this. I'll just show this real quick. It's just the image.
Shout out there. Love your excitement, Enosh, on the video. And then Brad says, "Dang it, Enosh, making me all emotional all over again." And then, before we do show your thing, I do want to welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about him. He's a good-looking guy back there. He's going to come in, so all ladies can swoon. And
handsome?
Because he's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy, and I got to change back to my other thing here. So okay. So we're gonna welcome him in, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zen.
Oh,
G'day,
man.
Hey, mate. After you gave me such a glowing review, I just had to come in and say thank you.
We love you, buddy.
I do feel that you give way too much credit, though. But thanks a lot, man. I can't stay long. It was mainly to say that, but I'll see what you got on for a bit. I can stay for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome. No, it's good.
Cool.
It's good.
I just wanted to say that when you were talking about like where you were when they got announced, for me, back in May when I saw that they were doing a Master Watch party, I was like, oh, okay, this is the thing. And then when I look it through, I kept seeing people getting excited on Twitter. I was like, whoa, what's all the commotion? And I looked in, I was like, whoa, you gotta be kidding me. This is impossible. I clicked on it, watched the video. I was like, they did it. They finally did it. And that's where I was when it happened.
Cool.
This is how excited I was.
Larry Bird. Yeah, I saw it.
Larry Bird.
We all knew how he said, no!
You're like,
that was when they blew up the Razor Crest. That's when I said no, because I just dropped $350.
Instead, you take that and he goes, yes.
All right. So Max has got something to show.
Well, this is courtesy of Chubby Teddy, a Snyder Cut. You can't bleed Snyder Cut more than Chubby Teddy. But he had an amazing. I missed this, maybe because I don't have my glasses on.
Go on, Max. Put your glasses on.
The symbolism.
I have mine.
So you know how Zach is about symbolism with dates and everything.
I'll put my glasses on, Max.
Look at this poster and look at the red Snyder. And he said, "What do you think that symbolizes?" And I only reason I'm bringing it up again is I would love to hear you guys. To me personally,
is it because it's a red S?
Well, okay, that's really cool too. My personal interpretation was this film in his whole career is there's so much blood, sweat, and tears. And our thoughts go out to the Snyder family for Autumn. Mm-hmm. He actually lost blood in his family's blood during this. It's blood, sweat, and tears into this project. That's my interpretation too. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but he gave so much of his life to this film, and it means so much to actually see the release of it. And he, unfortunately, there's a passing in his immediate family, but his extended family through his fans grew to the blood, sweat, and tears of the Snyder fans as well. That's my interpretation.
Which, by the way, By the way,
I'm
glad that you bring that up. I'm glad that you bring that up because Dawson and I were talking earlier, and I'm going to do something about this because Dawson brought it up. He tweeted about it. I retweeted it, and I.
Was that about the ABC news outlet?
So here's why. Because somebody did message me, and I appreciate them messaging me because I get why they did. Because obviously, Warner Brothers is not an ABC connected thing, and so they were like, "Hey, you should probably reach out to these types of places or whatever." And I think that they may have interpreted it that like I didn't really know who to reach out to. There's a reason why I tagged ABC, and that is because my local affiliate for ABC. I am good friends with the main anchor of our newscast. I've worked with her on several projects. Every year she has me come to the studio when I do my Christmas show. Everybody talks, I've talked before about my band, and we do this Christmas concert that we support an organization here locally called the Old Newsboys that helps make sure that underprivileged kids have a good Christmas. And so they helped me when I was 8 years old. That's how I got this infamous thing. I've had this since I was 8 years old. Okay. Because when my grandmother took me in, she took me in when I was like about 6, and she went through some financial issues a couple of years later where she lost out in some financial dealings and things. And so that year in 84, we had a pretty rough year. And it didn't look like we were going to have much of a Christmas. And the Old Newsboys, every year they make sure that kids have warm clothes, have some various odds and ends, toiletries and stuff like that, but they also make sure that they have a toy, and this was the toy. And so my band about 7 years ago, my band, we were talking about how we wanted to give back to our community, and we were all connected. A couple of us were connected business wise. We had done business with the Old Newsboys and helped them because I was in the printing industry for 18 years and I used to help do some printing for them. And my singer, Leslie Howe, she said, "What about the Old Newsboys?" And I said, "Yes, I'm in." And she didn't know my story. And so I told her about it. I brought this thing in. And so the thing is over the we didn't get to do it this year. We're going to try to do a Christmas in July thing because we had to cancel the show. But the thing is that we have raised about $10,000 for that organization in six concerts. And that being said, every year I've called my friend Dawn, and she's like, "Enosh, come on down." And they have me come in. I get to go on down on the set, and we talk about it. And we sit down and talk about this. And I hadn't even thought about it, but the fact that these fans have come together this way and have raised over $500,000 for the AFSP to help with suicide prevention, that needs to be addressed. All these people who've been negative about the Snyder Cut movement and all these people who've railed against it, screw that. You know what? We need some good press. And I don't care what affiliate it's from. I don't care if it's from the major guys. I don't care if it's ABC, NBC, CBS. I'm going to now reach out to several news outlets. But that's where I started because I know them. I also know people who work for our local NBC affiliate. And so I'm going to go to them next. But I think that this is a story that needs to catch fire and needs to spread around the country and even around the world, because this is a huge deal. This has never happened before. This is unprecedented that a fandom has come together and raised over $500,000 for an important cause like this. So that's why I tagged ABC. Just if you guys have any questions about that. But I want to encourage all of you. Send an email, make a phone call, do something. If you still have a newspaper, I know they're few and far between. Call your newspaper, like get a hold of somebody or call your local news organization or whatever and do it. Put that out there and let them know, I'm going to prepare a statement, and I may even put it out for people, like a press release to say, this is what has happened. This is what has been done. This is why it's important. And so I encourage you all to do the same and, or take mine when I post it and share it. And let's get some
Yeah, because
let's get some press on this thing, right?
Yeah, because the mainstream media doesn't want to show the truth.
Exactly. So anyways, I just wanted to
it's really up to the fans, really. I mean, Zach's doing the best he can. He's got the promos, he's got the posters and the trailers.
The trailers.
Beyond that, it's really Zach and the fandom and the cast that are promoting this, not really WB
exactly
much.
And so we were talking about promotion and stuff like that. So I think we really need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you guys, because everyone's been talking about the fact that Warner Brothers is not really doing much to promote this. Do you think it's because they feel they've put enough money into it already, and the fandom is what drove this, so they're expecting the fandom to sort of do that? And do you think they do have an obligation to, because they've already put in, even if you're looking at it from A&T's perspective, do you think they are obligated to do the marketing aspect as well, because they've already put so much?
Oh yes,
into that's
part. Yeah, that's part of any movie. I mean, you're still going to have I mean, they're making toys. I mean, they're making toys. There's toys that are coming. There are going to be other collectibles and things.
Yeah,
because those are ways that they're going to make money off of this. So it's just an investment there. Now, as far as Warner Brothers, they put up the initial investment, to make the first movie, whatever that thing was, right?
Yeah, the piece of trash.
But you know what? But even what we're talking about, though, man, because I get what you're saying. Should Warner Brothers feel responsible to put up money for this? Maybe not money necessarily, but it doesn't cost anything to send a tweet and say,
it runs on their channel,
"Hey,"
though, to
say, "What's that?"
If it's running on any of their platforms, they are putting money up.
But no.
Don't get me wrong. If it's running on any platform that they own, they are putting money up.
But Tony, the thing is though, is what's been brought up a lot, and that the people are kind of missing in some aspects is we're talking about Warner Brothers proper, right? Because Warner Media is the one that this is overseeing. That's why there's been this big deal with Ray Fisher, because Ray Fisher has been working with Warner Media, and Warner Media is there together with AT&T and those things. Warner Brothers, right? So there's all these, just because it says Warner in the name, they're not the same.
Wait,
right?
It's under the Warner Max thing, not the WB Max.
Well, exactly.
I'm just saying that they're involved.
It's like Marvel Entertainment versus Marvel Studios, kind of thing.
Yeah. And
at the end of the day, though, it's all about Marvel, right? It's still Marvel.
Well, no.
And I think at the end of the day, it's all about HBO or it's all about Warner Brothers. It's all
but what we're saying though is, Tony, is what has happened is AT&T has supported it and tweeted out and said, hey, this, because we have the date, March 18th, right? And so it was very simple. Very, very simple.
Woo!
Exactly. And so it's very, very simple that, they said it's March 18th. So Warner Media has come out and said, hey, it's March 18th, everybody get pumped up. AT&T has tweeted out, hey, March 18th, get pumped up. Various different conglomerates of Warner Brothers, not, Warner Brothers Picture, not Warner Brothers, but all these other people have done it. Like we said, Subway, restaurants has done. That Arby's is going to do one of their little things where they use their their sauce and make a Snyder cut thing. They do that.
That'll be funny.
but at the end of the day, Warner Brothers has not.
Right, and the most revealing moment was the Hamada interview. That didn't cost them anything.
Well, they've gone out of their way. They've gone out of their way to try to downplay the Snyder Cut and say, well, it's just a cul-de-sac. It's not a cul-de-sac. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to be anything. Don't get too hyped up for it. That kind of attitude.
It's about that dark emo Snyder trash. We want Marvel funding happiness.
So what?
Yeah. Well, because they should. But see, the point, Tony. Because the point is, Tony, is that I get that, but what I'm saying, what we're all been saying though is that if this was Disney, for example, with a Marvel thing, right? This would be like Disney this would be like WandaVision coming out and people like saying, well, like it's not really a movie that is connected to this. I mean, obviously we know that it is, but I'm just saying theoretically, right? That they put out it's like say the what if things, right? So Disney is putting out the Marvel what if things, and those aren't going to be connected to the main story of the MCU. But can you imagine Disney actually coming out like can you imagine Bob Iger or Kevin Feige coming out and saying, well, hey guys, yeah, this is coming out. This is coming out, but you know what? That's really not going anywhere. It doesn't really.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's nothing. Don't really worry about that. What you really want to worry about is what we're going to do over here with Doctor Strange. That's what you want to watch. No, there's an investment in it. They should be supporting their own company and their own properties because Warner Brothers owns these characters. And this is literally going to be one of, if not the biggest property for them this year.
I love that we're speculating like a month or 2 out, 2 months out, 2.5 months out.
One and a half months.
I'm going to tell you something, Enosh. You don't think that they don't know all these things and they're not going to do these things before this happens? Of course they are. If they're allowing this to be out, they're allowing the Zack Snyder cut to come out and be 4 hours long on HBO Max. You don't think the hype is going to be huge coming?
I don't think you're getting what I'm saying.
Even 2 weeks.
Tony, but Tony, I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. It's not even about that. It's the lack.
Disrespect.
It's literally every. Hold on. It's literally that every other part of the company has said at least something positive or at least put out a tweet congratulating and saying, and even just saying it's coming the 18th. But not only that, it's also, yes, the disrespect of coming out in an interview and trying to downplay it because of the stuff that's going on.
Especially what they
saying it's a cul-de-sac that's going nowhere.
And guess what? When it makes $100 million the first weekend, you know how that's going to flip around? The $100 million makes the first fucking weekend.
And that's BS.
And all of a sudden, they are on board. But it doesn't matter. It's all PR. We don't care about that. We only want to see the movie. The PR
stuff. We do care about that.
No, it needs to be a success. The Max service needs to hit like 120-50 million mark, and it's not digitalized worldwide.
On the 18th, like you said.
But here's the thing, Tony. I don't think you're understanding though why I'm saying it does matter. It does matter because people. This is part of the problem is that Warner Brothers has put up roadblocks to the Snyder Cut ever coming out, and they continue to do it even though it's inevitable and it's done. Guys, can we just take a minute and just revel in the fact that the Snyder Cut is finished?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you that Warner Brothers is putting up the friggin' wall, but don't worry about it. Once the movie comes out,
we're not saying
it is what it is.
We also have another.
Only worry about shit you can take care of.
Tony. But then why talk about anything? We're talking about it because it is a topic of conversation.
It hurts the hearts of faithful Snyder.
It hurts.
Imagine if you're Zach, it would hurt. It would hurt.
And it hurts.
I'll say this.
And it hurts the publicity of the movie because you know what? It gives ammunition to those douche nozzles who have attacked it, and it gives them credence and
I want to search
and
it says those douche nozzles.
And my quick piece on this is I'll say this: regardless of what happens, I think it's still going to be a monster of a movie. Speaking of monsters and movies, Enosh, our first topic.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Now I know why you're around.
One quick thing I was going to say, sorry, is that
was amazing.
We're how many months? We're like less than 2 months ish, or 2 months away. Month and a half. In Australia, I have no idea how I'm going to be able to watch it.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry for you, man. I feel for you.
I can't walk anywhere online.
We got lucky.
Tells me where I can watch it. I know Google Play had it apparently, but I don't know if that was Google Play in Australia. I didn't check that. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I need to watch it the first day it comes out.
I hope they do something for all the international fans because yes,
that's where the marketing is.
There's a lot of international fans that made this happen too. Yes, I hope you get to see it day one. I hope it's legally too, like because
likewise.
No, not saying anything about it.
I get it. Look, I've had people private message me, and they've said the exact same thing. They said, "Look, I'm concerned about this because right now, not in the foreseeable right now, do I have a way that I know that I'm for sure that I'm going to be able to watch it at this point when it comes out?" And we fought just as hard for it. We've pushed just as hard for it. And look, that's
a genuine concern.
I think it's a genuine concern. Now there are some different things. There are VPNs that you can get.
The issue is with a VPN is that I want to be able to say I'm from Australia, and I was sorry.
No. I was saying let you talk because so we don't talk over you. Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. So the issue with the VPN is it won't say that I'm from Australia, obviously, and we want like AT&T to know that people from different places. Where they're watching it, because then they know that international, worldwide based kind of thing. And I think that was kind of the issue with the VPN sort of thing. So yeah.
And to that I would say a couple of things. One, I really feel that they are, from what I've seen, they are working on as many as they can to try to make it so as many people across the world can see it, on that day together. Obviously, I think there's probably going to be some places that are going to be delayed, or come a little bit later. So I would say probably until then, like if there are options like for VPN or something like that, or a different way, like if it's on, because I know different countries have, different outlets, like because up in Canada,
it's Crave.
Tony, yeah, it's on Crave, right? At Crave TV, and I know like like overseas, what do they have? What is that, Sky TV or something like that, right? So I know that go ahead.
We've got one service which is called Binge, which is it has like HBO originals stuff on there. So that's potentially going to be the thing about like being on their website or and stuff. It has nothing on there, or I don't even know if they know. But sometimes some things that have come out from HBO are on a completely separate streaming service as well. So it's just like it's kind of all over the place. But that's where the marketing's out. How long have you sort of known that this movie is coming out now, and you haven't we have no idea.
And in their defense, even though we've known the movie's coming out for for quite a while now, some of these international deals, especially with COVID and different things, ways that I think that they may have traditionally just been able to put it out there, maybe in a theater or something like that. They've had to maybe get creative with some of those things and open up things, and those may still come out. Now, what were you going to say, TW?
I was going to say here, I found a tweet here, Zen, which might be applicable to you from sort of the official help account or the official Twitter account. Binge's Help. It says here, responding to a guy going by @Ben the Movie Guy. Hey, Ben, thanks for reaching out. We're still awaiting confirmation on the release schedule for the Snyder Cut for Australia, which may differ to US. We'll let you know as soon as we know when they'll be coming to Binge. That was 3 days ago.
Okay. Wow.
So, and I would say this, I totally understand, Zen, that you want to represent your country of origin, where you're at and everything. I would just suggest that if for some reason, like a VPN or something like that is your only option at that point, you're not be able to see it the day that it comes out, do that. But then when it becomes available to you, like maybe even tweet them and say, look, I'm here. We're here. You know what I mean? People from other countries that you need to, outside the United States, you need to make your voice heard so that they hear you where you're at and what you're doing and do what you need to do. But in the same token, when it does come to where you are, then, you know what I mean? Then like slam it hard, man. Support that thing, turn it on your TV and just leave it on all day. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like do whatever you got to do, but so I did want to get Max's, because I know Max is a big movie lover like me, and so this is a topic that a movie that I have loved for a long time, and it's gone through some ups and downs. But hey, we're getting the Cloverfield sequel, a proper
Why?
A proper Cloverfield sequel.
Why?
We had 10 Cloverfield.
No, it's not.
Lane.
It's not in the universe. It's a direct sequel, from what I've heard. Although it's not. I didn't know Matt Reeves directed the first one.
I love you,
All
Tony.
right, Max.
I love you, Tony. I love you, Tony. You're being obstinate tonight, but I still love you.
Well, I also like 10 Cloverfield Lane, but then some of the other.
But you're being honest. But you're being honest.
I'm on it.
Come on, it's like a kaiju film.
It is.
Look, there's no
That's
giant robot.
Is that a giant Corona bat? I don't know what that is.
Look, I love Cloverfield. I loved the first one. I thought that 10 Cloverfield Lane was very, very good. I mean, the tension in that movie, all that stuff. And look, I'll be honest with you. I lost my mind. Tiffany and I, when we were watching the Super Bowl and they announced that, the sequel was going to be the next one, the Paradox was going to be on Netflix that night. And it was like, Tiffany and I looked at each other. We're like, we get to watch the Super Bowl and then we get to watch the next Cloverfield movie right now. Heck yeah. And I don't know why that movie took so much flack. I just rewatched it tonight. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I enjoyed an amazing Super Bowl. That's why it came out after an amazing Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's not up to the quality of the first two.
Here's the thing. I remember I'm looking at the movie. Apparently, at the end of the film, right after you go the last minute, the bridge crumbles. After the credits, you can hear a voice saying, "Help us! It's still alive."
Yes. Something like that. Yeah.
So I don't like found footage movies, but I like Cloverfield. I usually don't like them.
I wasn't booing the film. I was booing the Super Bowl that was before this because the Pats lost the Eagles. Yeah,
shout out to Drav Walker with $5 Australian super chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Luke. Says I'm Aussie too. You can watch the Snyder Cut free, no VPN. I watched a little thing a lot. So I don't know if that's I'm not familiar with that. So
I think I thought Flickster was like a I thought that was like a stream
like a gay porno site or something.
I believe it is.
I do know that there are many sites that are out there where you can watch things for free. I would encourage all of you though
to pay for it.
That helps Zach.
Because this must present
100%.
If possible,
if possible, do the best you can. Now back to this. So back to this. This interesting, and so I I normally wouldn't go to this site because they've ticked me off a lot, but I actually thought that they actually brought up
Collider.
Oh, no.
I know.
Collider.
Hold on though. Hold on. Because I read several websites actually that talked about this sequel, and I felt that now this is not Frosty, so but I felt like this article actually brought up some interesting points that other ones did not. Because other ones just kind of threw it out there that, hey, it's going to be a sequel and it's not going to be found footage, but listen to some of the points in this. So it says here, in some surprising late Friday news, there's a new Cloverfield movie in the works from producer J.J. Abrams, who has tapped hot British scribe Joe Barton to write the script. Now, Joe Barton is working on the new Gotham PD series for HBO Max.
Okay.
He's the showrunner for that. And he's going to write the script for that. So it says what's not surprising, and in fact comes as something of a relief, is that the new film will not be found footage. Will not be a found footage sequel, which gives Barton significant creative freedom in crafting the story. The format has gone out of style in recent years after Hollywood predictably drove it into the ground. Now, look, I don't know about that. I think that still yet, if there's a found footage movie that does well, that you can do that poorly or you can do it really well. A great example of that, well, one is this movie, but then also an even better example that I think is actually better than this is Chronicle. If you've seen Chronicle is fantastic.
One of my favorite superhero movies.
Hold on, guys, y'all can't talk at once because then we all cancel each other out. I'm sorry. So, okay, go ahead, Max.
I think that benefits it for the direct sequel not being found footage, because the whole movie, if you remember, towards until the end, you don't really get to see them. And now towards the end, it like opens up the world and you see the whole picture, and then the whole picture will be the sequel. So I don't know if I necessarily would want a found footage.
And I don't
because of the journey of the first, because of the journey of the story. Do you see where I'm going with that?
No, I'm totally with you. And Deck, I'm totally with you on this as well. I have fallen out of love with Collider over the last few years. But
we collide with Collider.
But like I said, this article, it brings up a couple interesting points here in just a minute. And so, did anybody else have anything on that?
Well, to be honest, I'll be okay with it. The first film was good, and it would have been nice if it had Matt Reeves directed, but he's working on Batman right now.
Yeah. Drabwalker's seen Chronicle. If you have not seen Chronicle, you got to see Chronicle.
That's the one with Nathan on.
Watch it.
Chronicle is fantastic. It's a great found footage movie. It's how a found footage movie should be done, and they got really creative with how they did it, for sure. So
I like found footage. I do. I like found footage.
Me too. So okay, so let's keep going here. It says So what's not surprising is the fact that it comes as a relief is this will not be found footage, which gives him freedom to do it. It says plot details for the new movie are being kept under wraps, according to the Hollywood Reporter, which broke the exciting news. Barton recently stepped in to replace Terrence Winter as the showrunner on HBO Max's upcoming Gotham PD series about crooked cops, which is being overseen by the Batman director, Matt Reeves, who... Can you see where I'm going with this? He says directed the original Cloverfield.
Okay. I didn't think of that.
Okay.
All right. So that's a cool thing. The original Cloverfield done by Matt Reeves.
Connection.
It says that 2008 monster movie grossed $172 million worldwide on a modest $25 million budget, and not only launched Reeves' big budget filmmaking career, but also a full-fledged franchise that includes 2016's 10 Cloverfield Lane, which made $110 million, and the abysmal Netflix movie. They say it's abysmal. I didn't think it was Cloverfield Paradox in 2018. It says, I imagine it also launched or bolstered the careers of several marketing executives who devised a clever viral campaign that led to a $40 million domestic opening weekend. Now, if you guys remember, there's a whole thing. You guys can find a lot of this stuff right here on YouTube, where like they did a whole campaign where it was like people were trying to find hidden things, and within there, and there's a drink that's mentioned called Slusho, and that parent company, they got the main ingredient for Slusho from like this kelp. That supposedly was
Wasn't that one of those ones where they didn't show the monster and they did the whole thing?
No, they don't show the monster in that, because they show the monster waking up from its sleep because it takes off like an oil rig or whatever. And here's a guy that I know loves Cloverfield as well, Mr. Matt Jarbo.
Hey
Matt. What's going on, Matt?
I can't wait.
I changed my name for you, Jarbo.
What?
I said I changed my name for you, Jarbo.
I can't read what it says. Hold on.
Tony, a.k.a. Ray, the drunken Canadian.
That's for you, Jarbo. It was always just Ray. Now it's the drunken Canadian.
but that's spelled Canadian.
Seriously? Is something wrong?
Well, he is drunk.
Like, I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it.
It's the truth. It's the truth, Tony.
It's Canada.
Did you spell that?
The where the I was.
Okay. So
why didn't you guys tell me? I hate you.
Now you got to keep it that way.
Okay. So
I want a shirt that says Tony, the drunken Canadian.
So the interesting connection here. All right. So the interesting connection here is that with this, Slusho also appeared on the show Lost. And Slusho, because that was produced by J.J. Abrams, and then Slusho also appeared on the show Alias.
Ooh.
Really?
And Star Trek 2009.
It did. It was in Star Trek 2000. You are right.
And Super 8 as well.
Was it in Super 8?
It was. Yeah, it was in the well, I could be wrong. I know Kelvin appeared at that was the name of the gas station.
Yeah.
In the opening of Super 8, and I thought there was a Slusho reference in the gas station in Super 8.
Okay,
I'm a huge Cloverfield nut job. So
I know.
So here's the interesting thing.
Glad they have a sequel, huh, Jarbo?
I'm so excited to hear Jumbo talk about this.
Okay.
No, let Enosh talk. It's his show.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing about this that I think is very important, and it was already brought up in the chat, because it says, of course, both of those other films, both of the sequels to this film, to Cloverfield, were originally developed as standalone features titled Valencia and God Particle, right? Whereas this fourth film has the benefit of being written with the greater Cloverfield universe in mind. And they said here, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the franchise stars like Winstead returned for cameo appearance. I mean, depends upon how they're going to connect all these, universes and stuff. Now, do you guys remember, and Matt, maybe you remember, the movie Overlord was originally rumored to be connected also, but then they dropped that.
Yeah, that was one that was like basically considered Cloverfield 3 far before the Cloverfield paradox was even rumored to exist.
Yes, Bunyan sniped at it.
Yeah, and then they let it go. But the funny thing is they were actually planning a proper Cloverfield sequel way back when the first one came out.
Yes.
And there's an interview with Matthew Reeves when he was talking about the potential sequel, and he goes, there's a shot when they're on the Brooklyn Bridge and you see somebody else holding a camera. He's like, that's somebody else's story that we could explore. And it's like, oh, cool. That would have been cool. So it's like that would have been interesting, because I really would like to have seen the world open up from other perspectives as well. But yeah, they were planning on, I mean, the JJ for a while was just kind of treating it like it was Twilight Zone. That's, I think, how they kind of approached it. And it's unfortunate that they didn't invest more, because the movie only cost $30 million or like 27 or 30. It was a lower budget film. And I know it made its money back, so I have no idea why they haven't just made a complete sequel.
So, like, when you say like Twilight Zone, kind of like how oh my goodness, like Carpenter wanted Halloween to be originally.
Yeah, it's kind of like the idea was, like the 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield Paradox, and Cloverfield don't actually exist in the same quote unquote universe, right? I think the term that JJ used was that they were considered kind of like distant cousins to one another.
But that was one of the things about the paradox, was that in the Cloverfield paradox was that it was showing how there was a rip in the fabric of space and time, because at the end of paradox we got literally a creature that was able to rise above the clouds. It was so large. I mean, you put that in perspective with the creature that was in the original movie, where that was just barely, it wasn't even as tall as some of the buildings, because it was considered a baby. And yet at the end of Paradox, spoilers for Paradox, but we just rewatched it again tonight. They're dropping it, and all of a sudden one of those creatures, the Cloverfield creature, pops up, and it's literally like you're talking thousands of feet in the air. Like huge. You're talking like a monster that literally the biggest. There's actually a video here on YouTube that I showed my kids tonight to put it into perspective. The largest version of Godzilla is like 300 meters, right?
Yeah.
And they were saying that this like literally is between 4,000 to 6,000 meters. It's that big. It is literally that big. And so you're literally talking a creature that like the Cloverfield monster could just like stomp. Yeah, could literally just stomp on Godzilla. The biggest version, like the absolute biggest, the version that we get in these new movies, these new Godzilla movies, is only like 182 to 200 meters.
What do you got, Jarbo?
So
Cloverfield Paradox on Blu-ray.
Oh, yes. Yeah, man. So this is what we're giving away at the end of the month. We're giving away the 3-pack.
Nice.
Yeah. So at first on the 14th, to anyone who gives a super chat this month or becomes a member or a patron, we're going to give this away first. The Batman Noir, the Long Halloween. So that'll be first. We're going to give that away on 2/14. But after that, because we're going to do a twofer this month. That's why I wanted to announce it tonight. We got this. You get all 3 movies all in one. And
do I get those?
Wait, I have to just ask though, is that Blu-ray or DVD?
This is
because it looks like it's DVD.
It might be DVD. It might be.
Yeah, it's DVD.
Yeah, it's DVD. It's
Okay,
DVD.
I'm like, you cheap bastard. You cheap.
I don't know Bluetooth anyway, so I want it.
if you're gonna give away Clover, you gotta give it. I mean, like, I even you can get.
He is the Cloverfield fanatic.
I grabbed my copy of.
Get out of here with that.
No, my copy.
It's like my dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Matt Jarbo is now going to be buying all of our giveaways.
Nah.
Oh no. So
I'm just saying, don't cheap out.
I didn't cheap out. I literally found that set, and I thought that, you know what, there's a lot of people who would actually probably really like that set.
This was given to me by sent to me early by Paramount. I was given a link.
You didn't even pay for it.
Yeah, I didn't pay for this one.
Doesn't pay for Comic-Con. Doesn't pay for the Cloverfield Paradox.
Nope.
Come on.
This is how excited I am, guys, about this movie. This was back when they first announced playing Cloverfield Lane. Wow. Yeah, look how old this video is. Check this out.
Look how fat Enosh is.
Exciting.
Look how big he was.
Really excited about this. It just came out of nowhere, and I couldn't be happier. This year is shaping up to be an amazing year for movies, and I really hope that this one is going to pay off. I'm talking about a semi-sequel kind of deal to Cloverfield, the movie. It's not Cloverfield 2, but it's related to Cloverfield. They're calling it Blood Kin or something like that.
What the heck?
What is that?
Last night, before I went to bed, just happened to jump online, and a friend of mine had tagged me in a post from Collider.com talking about this sequel or semi-sequel to the movie Cloverfield and how it was set up. Now, there's a new movie, obviously, that came out. It's coming out this week about the Benghazi situation. And before that comes this trailer. Now, let's talk about this, because this is so kind of cool how this all came about. We know that J.J. Abrams is very secretive, and I know usually I'm doing Star Wars stuff, so if you want to relate it somehow to that, J.J. Abrams is part of this because he's producing it. Bad Robot is producing this movie, and
so there you go. That's that was how excited I was about that even back then, because I love those.
He directed a short.
I love those movies.
I remember.
By the way, I was not fat shaming anybody. I just really want everybody to know chat. No. I just, I was fat too.
I like this one.
Really,
this is Chubby James Hetfield.
Yeah. I wasn't fat shaming. I swear to God.
Hey,
so
I don't blame anyone. I'm putting on a little weight right now.
I've been consistently putting on weight since I was born, so I think that's kind of.
I was a fat guy for a while. I worked it out, but I'm sorry if anybody thought that I was making fun of anybody being fat. I was only making fun of Enosh because we're buddies, so I get.
I know him, so F him. That's right. We're friends. Love you, bro, but you suck.
Back to the Blu-ray thing. I was thinking of.
Drive Walker, you're absolutely fine, man. You're absolutely fine, dude. You're all good.
Oh, funny thing I found out about super chats. Apparently, if people are using iOS, like their iPhone or iPad, and they pay for super chats, Apple also takes a cut. So you get less of the pie. Just found that out yesterday. Yeah, because I got one super chat on the live stream. Yeah, so YouTube takes their 30%, and then Apple takes its 30%.
Apple doesn't make enough money. That's why.
Oh right, yeah, they have like 200 some billion in cash on hand.
The remainder or the principal?
No, of the principal. Like because it's the super chat is processed through them.
Jeez,
yeah, so it's like I had a $5 super chat and I got $2.45 out of it. Ooh. And I'm all like, that caught me, and I was like, what's happening? So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, burn it all to the ground, man. Like,
it's like
Enosh gets it.
That's like lunch at a bodega, man. Like, that's not.
It's $2.45 I didn't have before.
Exactly, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and it adds up after a while. Because I've been wondering, like, why that? Because I'll do my math internally, when I stream and I get super chats, and then sometimes it's like different. I'm like, what the hell? Now I know.
Jeez.
So there's that. Oh, funny thing about the Cloverfield monster, because you brought up the Cloverfield figure right there.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go and if you want to see if you want to kind of create your own little pocket universe of Cloverfield, Star Trek 2009, Super 8, Cloverfield, all the alien from Super 8 looks suspiciously like the Cloverfield monster, and the red monster on the ice planet that they find in Star Trek 09 also looks similar. The reason why is all three were designed by the same guy.
Yep.
So it's kind of like one pocket universe. That's how JJ also kind of brought that into his other movies. It's like my favorite franchise. I love Cloverfield
If he
so
does
much.
this, if he winds up doing that Superman movie that they've been rumoring of him doing, I'm like,
don't use that Superman flag. It's trash.
I'd be unsurprised to see like Slusho at like a convenience store that Clark's walking.
Well,
by
it didn't pop up in Star Wars. So it didn't pop up in Star Wars.
I was waiting for it. I'm like,
and well, I mean, I get that. I get that.
Well, good Lord. Hey, I will just say this around these dooms. So it's been a while since I've looked up the Cloverfield monster toy, right? And so I figured, you know what? Just for fun, I'll just look it up real quick on eBay.
How many zeros?
It's a lot, isn't
How many
it?
do you have?
So there's only two right now.
Oh my gosh.
They're only
Holy
two
cow.
up. One is $1,400 or best offer, $30 shipping with 42 people watching. And the other one's $27.50, but free shipping. But free shipping.
Gracious.
And how many of those do you have?
What's that?
Is
How
that
many do I
next
have?
month's
I got
giveaway?
8. No.
Is that next month's
I don't
giveaway?
have one.
Enoch?
I do not have
One
one.
of-
I'm
one of
sorry.
your
What was that then?
fantastic- Yeah.
No, I was asking, is that next month's giveaway from the Point Dexter?
Yes.
Too expensive, man. Too
Paid for
expensive.
by Matt Jarbo.
Yeah, because I have that kind of money. Because I have that kind of cash. That's
Ship it to
right.
Australia. It's a little
Paid
bit more
for by Matt
expensive because I know you have all that Apple money as well. Well, that's not Apple money actually.
Little known fact: Matt Jarbo just happened to invest a lot in GameStop.
No. I did Ripple a couple years ago, and I've been sitting on that for a while. And apparently now, like that's now what people are going to be targeting, and I'm all like, get it to some
you
money.
know the Ripple situation, right? With the court case.
Yeah, it's all. I bought into it like a long time ago, and I just kind of.
I argued this could change crypto forever. I know I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying, like I've joked that it could change legal precedent forever because basically I've said, this is my own tinfoil hat thing, is that the court case. What's what I'm looking at for a verdict would determine whether or not cryptocurrencies as a broader sense are currencies or securities, which could wind up kind of changing the way that, because I think everything would have to go through the SEC at that point.
Yeah.
Not currency, not currency, TW.
Oh no, I'm saying, I know they're not. I'm saying, but like, what, like in a legal sense, like in a full on.
Currency.
I have no idea. Yeah, I bought it on a whim because I was like,
Hey, if you got
I don't.
if it's money you didn't have, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was given Bitcoin a number of years ago by some supporters, but when it spiked in 2017, I bought out. I sold out, right? I got rid of it because I was like, oh, it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. I had, yeah.
I knew a
3
guy.
years later, I was all like, maybe
knew
that
a
was a
guy
bad
who-
idea.
I knew a guy who got him at $150 a coin.
Oh wow.
So he cashed out. He did all right.
I've never understood crypto, like this whole even stock exchange. This whole GameStop thing is just confusing to me.
Yeah. And that's something DeFranco said, which I agree with, which is like, don't put in more money than you're willing to lose.
Yeah, it's like going to a casino or a strip club. It's just you go with what you're willing to blow.
Yes.
And
You know why the GameStop thing worked? I'll tell you why the GameStop thing worked, because the hedge fund guys decided to short fund it. So they did not think that the company was going to do anything. And basically what happened was somebody came in and said, no, I think this company is going to do something. I'm going to buy all these stocks. The company's value went up. These guys had to pay their investors on something that they short funded them. So they didn't think they were going to have to pay these investors. Now they have to pay these investors every single time now. When it goes up, they have to pay the investors more. So they're losing money.
Wait, haven't they lost like billions? Like it's around like 2 billion, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like billions and billions of dollars, because they said these these things are in our hedge fund. This is a fund that you're going to invest in. Say, Matt Jarbo, you invest into this fund, and these guys are like, yeah, we got this as one of our portfolios, but we don't think this company is going to survive. So we're going to like only buy this many of it, but we're going to tell you we're going to buy this many. And then we're going to say, okay, so every time this company makes money, we're going to give you more money because we've taken your money, right, to make into this. But they're not. So basically they're paying more money every single time this company goes up, but they're betting against this company that it's going to go down. It's Blockbuster Video, right?
Well, have you seen Blockbuster has actually like tweeted at Reddit, and they're like, "Come on, Reddit, do your thing." You know?
That'd be amazing, right? But this thing didn't start.
Bless their heart.
$8 a share. It was still $8 a share. So these guys came in, bought it at $8. You know, that was the low point. GameStop is here, and all of a sudden they were like, "What the hell is going on?" Because these guys borrowed money against a company that they thought was going to fail. So the reason this thing works is because these guys were like, every time this makes money, these guys have to pay their investors. Right? But they don't have enough shares. They lied about how many shares they have because they want this company to fail. So this is why it's a constant. Is
there any way that we can use Reddit and their brain power to like target YouTube and Google and get them to listen to their consumers for once? Wouldn't that be nice?
Sorry,
that'd be fantastic.
So Dravwalker asked the question, and he's asked me this before, and I never got a chance to answer him. He says, "How did you lose all the weight?" So I got up to 420 pounds, and I was starting to have health issues, and I had always struggled with my weight. I'd been up and down, but I'd always been a pretty healthy guy, even though I was a big guy, and I was very agile. I still played sports, even at 420 pounds. I played sports all the time and was very agile. But I ended up having bariatric surgery. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people who don't understand how that works, that like they think, oh, it's just the easy way out. Well, I'm now 3 years out and I've kept the weight off. And because I completely changed my life, I completely changed my lifestyle. I don't eat sugar anymore. I haven't had any bread, and I can't even remember when. Basically, I kind of eat a keto style diet now. You know, and
look how pretty you are. You're pretty.
Thank you.
So does that mean you can't have a burger then?
And what's that?
Does that mean you can't have a burger?
So here's the interesting thing about that. So my stomach is now much smaller. Tiffany had the surgery as well. She's lost over 100 pounds. And I've lost almost 200 pounds total. But
amazing.
My stomach is now so small, I can't eat a full burger. I can eat meat. I eat meat all the time. I mean, you know, so like I can eat that, but I can't eat it fast like I used to be. I mean, because I used to inhale food, you know, I mean, just like it was gone. I can't do that. And honestly, like a cheeseburger, a cheeseburger doesn't even sound good to me. Like what I will have is like I'll get steak, you know, so like I'll get like good meats or whatever, and I'll, you know, chop them up, you know, and things like that into smaller pieces that my body can now digest. But now I my stomach is not like it was, so it's a small little pouch, and you know, so it's just it's different, and you know, but like I said, I've kept it off, and I'm doing really well. All the health issues that I was starting to have are gone. I don't have any of those things anymore. And, you know, it was the right choice for me because that's what I needed, you know, and there was enough that was happening where, I mean, I had high blood pressure. I had some other things going on. I already had my surgery scheduled and everything out. And I was 30 days away from my surgery, and I got diagnosed with diabetes too. And the thing is after my surgery, no diabetes, no high blood pressure, no anything. And so I'm healthy as can be. My doctor's super happy with me. I'm super happy. I got my life back because I never really saw myself as like, even in those pictures and stuff, when people see me, like I never saw myself that way, to be quite honest with you. Like, I hear people tell those like opposite stories about where they say like that you know, all they see, like no matter how thin they get, they just see themselves as fat. I never saw myself as fat. Like because I was involved in so many things, and I did so many different things, and like I still competed and I still did things. So like I never saw myself that way. And I was in a rock band still, man. I was out there rocking it up, man, having a good old time, man, even at 400 pounds. So, like that was me. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm so glad now. I'm healthy. I feel good. I'm going to be around for my kids. My kids are or like even Landon sometimes will take a look at a picture of me and Tiffany from just a couple years ago, and he'll say like, wow, I didn't realize you guys were as big as you were until now, like seeing you guys now. And so it's kind of changed our whole family's kind of outlook on food and like food. Like I used to get annoyed when people would say things like, oh, I don't live to eat anymore. I eat to live. And I would be like, shut up and give me a taco.
I'm pretty sure we all eat to live, don't we?
Yeah, but that's an obnoxious thing, though. It's an obnoxious thing that people say because they're like, I don't just live to eat, because that's basically what I was doing. Like I was seriously like in a position where like I was finding myself at a place where like I would try to get as much food as I possibly could. Like it was weird. It was kind of a mental thing, right? Like I would always, try to get the best deal that I possibly could, where I'd, like if I'd go out to eat or whatever, like how could I get the most food or whatever. And it's like now I don't even think about food. There's times where it's like I can go almost a whole day. Like people see me all the time. That's why I drink these I drink my protein shakes and stuff, because that's why I got my protein shakes all over here. And you see me with my.
Is this something that you can be removed though? Is this something that's removable, or now that you have the mindset that it doesn't matter anymore, or are you going to keep the thing?
Oh no! This is something. This is something. I mean, look, in an extreme case where like my body was rejecting it somehow or whatever, it can be undone. But it's a very.
Do you want this in you for the rest of your life, though, is what I mean?
I don't have anything in me. I didn't get a lap band. Look, if anybody's thinking about getting weight loss surgery, do not get a lap band. It's the dumbest thing that anybody's ever created, ever. And the dumb thing about the lap band is it's stupid. There's three kinds of surgeries. Cool. There's three kinds of surgeries. So what you have is you have either what's called the Roux-en-Y, which that is where they completely go in, they bypass, that's the bypass, right? So they go in and they bypass your stomach, right? So now instead of having a full stomach, I have a small pouch of a stomach, and then they bypass a lot of the other stuff, and it just like attaches right to the end. So I don't have like I still have everything in me, right? It's all there. If I ever need it, it's there and it's alive. But the thing is like I don't have the full intestinal tract that everything goes through anymore. So my body processes food differently. Like it's not sitting there as long. You know what I mean? It's going in, coming out. That's why I have to take a vitamin regimen every day for the rest of my life. And that's fine. I take calcium, I take, all these vitamins, I do all these different things. But, and then the other one is called the sleeve. It's similar, but what they do is they actually cut your stomach where it looks like the sleeve of a shirt, right? So it's kind of like this kind of long banana shape, right? And so people lose weight that way. And so I looked at both of those and I said, well, here's the thing. I weigh 420 pounds. I met people who had all three surgeries. And the people that I saw personally who had done the best and kept it off the most were people who had the full Roux-en-Y. And I was at an extreme case where these things were happening to me. And I was like, I'm going to go big or go home. Here's the problem with a lap band. And I didn't mean to turn this into medical journal night, but
can this be reversed though? Is what I'm asking. Can this be reversed if you just said?
But there's no reason.
I'm good now.
No.
I'm good now.
No, because that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I'm explaining something.
That's
lap band is where they literally take a band and they place it around your stomach, and you have a port in the side of your stomach on the outside that you can adjust. So say you go to a wedding and there's a big like banquet there, right? And you're like, ooh, I want to get all this food. Well, I'm going to let out my stomach a little bit here. I'm going to let out my stomach a little bit so I can put more food in and make more room, right? Because they're not actually.
We're good. We're good.
They're not actually adjusting your stomach, your actual parts. They're just putting something around your stomach, right? And so that's the problem, is people can cheat it super easy. But like, why would you want a port? Now, look, I understand. Look, if somebody's had that surgery and that works for you, that works for you. That was not going to work for me. The point of my surgery is they have literally bypassed my insides, and now it is what it is. That's why I'm able to process the way I'm able to process now, because I could not do that before. You can't just randomly just go, hey, I just want to undo this now. In an extreme case, if there were some kind of medical reason why it had to be reversed, it can be reversed. But
the only reason I asked is I wanted to know if you can eat a full pizza. That's
no.
it.
No.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's the only reason I asked, and this turned into
no.
something.
I would literally struggle to get past one piece.
Everybody.
I would literally struggle to get past one piece at this point. But I feel great. And I don't think about food. Like, I seriously don't even think about food like I used to. Like, before I was like thinking like, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? You know, like, when can I eat again? And now it's like, oh yeah, I'll eat when I get hungry. I still get hungry, but my meals are planned out now. I have small little meals, and I make sure that I'm proteined up, and I feel great, and so that's my thing. And look, that's not for everybody, and I don't think that it's something that anybody should just jump into, but it is what it is. Speaking of eating, anybody think that they should make Jaws 5?
Only if it's Jaws 5 Fire Island.
I want to hear Jarbo's take on this.
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. What?
Should they make Jaws 5?
No.
Oh no, they ran that franchise long enough.
Yes. Well, like I said,
If they reboot it now, Andrew, this could be like a nostalgia thing for us.
Dude, after Jaws,
I just picked this up, actually, speaking of Jaws.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
Look at Jarbo's already got that shit on the go.
Yeah, it was I think it was a Black Friday sale. They had it for like 45th anniversary 4K. I was like, oh hell yeah. So I need to actually pop it in and watch. I got to hook up my 4K player to my TV, but yeah, I've also got Hellboy.
I've got Jaws. I've got Jaws toys. So you can see right there.
No. Oh wow. He loves that. Every chance he gets to turn his camera around and like, look at my toys. Look at my toys. I've lost all this weight. I have all these toys. And my wife's a blonde. Bow to me.
My place is needed here.
Anyway, Tony,
I've got
Jaws ended after the second film with Roy Scheider's Martin Brody.
Was he in? No, wasn't the mayor like the only character that crossed over into Jaws 2? The same actor?
No,
Roy Scheider went to.
Roy Scheider as well. Oh man, I don't remember. I remember Jaws 3.
They were going to bring back. They were going to.
They were actually Michael Caine.
Well, they were going to bring back. What's his name?
Richard Dreyfuss.
But he couldn't do it or whatever. And then they were actually going to try to bring back Roy Schneider again for the fourth one. But that's why the fourth one ended up becoming about the mom, because they brought her back. They brought the Roy Schneider's wife, and then it was like, now it's personal.
Which one was
his replacement? Was Michael Caine.
3D.
Michael Caine was in there, yeah. Michael Caine was in there.
Michael Caine was in, and they had Lance Guest. Lance Guest was the guy the Sharks were after. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Lance Guest, Last Starfighter.
Jaws 4 is so dumb. Jaws 4 is so dumb. The idea.
I think I'm sick of this era of reboots. I think we should just come up with some new
Sharknado. Hell no.
I'd watch Sharknado 6 because Sharknado is the reason why you have the Poindexter Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. Sharknado 3. Sharknado 3 is what put me and Tiffany on this whole thing. We felt like after we watched it, it was so ridiculous and over the top, we had to talk about it, and so we did. We made it. You can see our 25-minute video right here on the channel. Sharknado 3. It's our play-by-play on it. So yes,
that franchise died so that the lounge.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Sharknado.
Oh, dude, you gotta see Sharknado.
Never seen it.
Sharknado is one of those things that it's a it's like so bad that it's good.
Okay.
Now I will say this: part four gets bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because all those things.
You think?
Well,
it's
yeah.
Sharknado 4.
No, I know.
The
Part
Sharkening.
five-
I don't even know what it's called.
Part five.
Sounds like a.
Well, part 5 is ridiculous, but part 3 was the pinnacle of Sharknado because like it has Hasselhoff in it. Hasselhoff ends up on the moon. They got sharks in space. They got a lightsaber chainsaw. They got a by a great white.
Okay.
They get eaten
Right,
by
Universal Studios.
The Fourth
their
Awakening.
space shuttle explodes and they get eaten by a great white and then face re-entry. And while they're in re-entry, Tara Reid's baby is born within the shark, and a little baby hand comes out of the shark at the end. Ian Ziering's in it. Tara Reid. I mean, dude, it's so ridiculous. And there's so many shark puns. I mean, they got the people from Shark Tank on there and everything else.
Yeah.
Well,
a man with a chainsaw flying into a shark's mouth.
If I recall, Sharknado actually originally crashed and burned on Sci-Fi. What prompted Sharknado's success was celebrities started tweeting about it, like Patton Oswalt and a bunch of other celebrities on Twitter started tweeting about Sharknado, and that's what got their audience to watch an encore screening a couple of days later. And then from there, Sci-Fi capitalized on it. So, if I recall correctly.
And the fourth one was called The Fourth Awakens.
Okay.
Yes.
I do like what Dex Siam, I can't born in 80 whatever, but Piranha 3D.
Oh my god!
But he's talking about Piranha 3D, which came out in the summer of 2010, and that movie is fantastic. That movie is because that movie is great because not only
it technically is a cousin to Jaws because Richard Dreyfuss's character is in the character, and you see him meet his end by piranhas.
And also Christopher Lloyd was in it too.
Was he in one or was he in the one after that?
No, he's in the first one. I believe he's in the first one. He has a cameo. It's a brief thing.
I'm getting there. We're heading there. We're coming around the corner. So the other story here is have you guys seen this?
I have.
Was it Lycurgo? Is it or Lycurgo? Jay Lycurgo as Tim Drake.
Okay.
For Titans season 3. So we got Dick Grayson, we've got Jason Todd, and now we are going to have
the whole Bat family.
We're going to have almost. I mean, up to a certain point.
Dick Grayson's story first, okay? Let's
Barbara Gordon's coming.
Yep, Barbara Gordon is coming as well. But this is Variety says Titan season 3 has cast Jay Lycurgo maybe in the recurring role of Tim Drake. Drake is described as a streetwise kid who's managed to grow up on the toughest streets without losing his indelible belief in heroism. His easygoing demeanor is backed up by a near genius mind, a natural detective with a perception for detail far beyond his years. Fans of the Batman comics will recall that Drake served with Batman as the third Robin. And he's also this kid is also supposed to appear in the Batman.
Yeah, he's in that scene where
he's in this scene right here. So he's that kid that did the close up on. Yep.
Can I ask a question here? Does anybody else think it's dumb that we haven't even actually seen like any of the other Robins yet? So why would it even be a thing?
Wait, what?
Obviously.
He's talking about if Jay Lycurgo somehow played Tim Drake in The Batman. If it would be weird to have him be the first.
That's not the things are canon. No, that's not what he's playing. He's one of in that video that I just showed you. He's the kid that it does the close up on. He's one of the goons. Yeah. He's playing Tim Drake Robin in the show Titans, which we've already seen Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson became Nightwing at the end of season 2, and we already have we have Jason Todd who's been Robin in the show, and so he's becoming Red Hood.
Red Hood now.
Yeah, he's going to become Red Hood, and so
this
kid is gonna take over as Robin.
I heard that since they're doing the whole Red Hood thing, they might actually get someone to be the Joker in this show. Cast some point for that.
That'd be interesting. I mean,
I'm
there's
still not sold. I'm still not sold on Batman, to be honest.
Ian Glenn?
Not Batman?
I'm with you.
No, sorry. Batman in Titans. Is his name?
Oh, Ian Glenn.
Ian Glenn. Yeah, I'm still not sold on him as a Batman. He's just
he's not gonna wear the suit, man.
No. Sorry, I'm not sold on him as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
I'm not really. Sorry, go on.
No, go finish what you were saying there.
No, like I'm not. I don't really subscribe to the having to have the whole like complete aesthetic or whatever. To me, he just doesn't look like Bruce Wayne, and he doesn't act like Bruce Wayne. To me, like my sort of vision of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you, Zen. I
agree.
Yeah, he does have what looks like more kind of a modern take on Adam West's Batman.
Yeah,
like
that's
look.
what
It's like almost like a more kind of fit, like kind of like I just don't like. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things about his look that I don't see that as being Bruce Wayne either. But he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
I mean, they already just got a new Bruce Wayne on the Batwoman show.
Yeah, and like I actually love Titans. I love that series.
Oh,
And
it's so good.
Everyone I speak to, I'm always like anyone who's into comic books, I'm like, man, check out this series.
Right.
But that's just the one thing that I haven't been sold on. It's the one thing that kind of sours it for me. But like, I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, the kid who plays Superboy. The kid who plays Superboy is so good in that role. Oh my gosh! I wish that you guys could have seen. Like, I wasn't recording when that went down at the end of season 1. I lost my mind over that. That was like a twist.
I haven't seen the show.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch Titans, man.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta watch Titans. Titans is so good. I mean, it's like it is my favorite.
It's on Netflix here, Tony.
Netflix? Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's on Netflix for us.
So until I'll just be straight up with you. You guys know I love the Flash and everything, but I'll be honest with you. Titans became my #1 DC TV show.
Really?
And that show single-handedly. I'd always like Dick Grayson or whatever, as Robin, whatever. But I did not have one Nightwing action figure. And I wasn't big on like collecting a bunch of Robin figures. After that show came out, I had to get I got a ton of Robin figures. So I got all of them. I got, Tim Drake. I got, Jason Todd. I got, all these. And then I got a couple Damian Waynes and stuff. And then I probably now have like 4 or 5 Nightwing figures because
Nice.
I'll tell you what, man, he is so good.
Dick Grayson is the only Robin,
Dick
man.
Grayson.
Dick Grayson is the only Robin. I don't care about the other 3. Fuck them.
Oh man,
Dick
he
Grayson's
grew
the
up.
only Robin.
He grew up, dude. He grew up.
I
man.
know he grew up. That's why it had to
Deathstroke on that show was awesome.
Did you guys ever see the Batman Beyond cartoon? Return of the Joker?
Yeah, that was good.
Yes, that was an awesome.
I'd be interested to see if they would sort of go towards if we remember in the history sort of part where the Joker kidnaps Tim Drake and kind of like oh, sorry, I won't ruin it. Don't worry.
Tim Drake.
I do agree. I do agree with you. I think that they would be better off to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, and another thing on that Titan show, they did have an awesome Deathstroke.
Morales.
Yes. You know what? I'll be honest with you.
You ever
I
see
have
Ozark,
yet to see a bad live action Deathstroke.
Yeah, I mean the CW Arrow Deathstroke.
Yeah. As for Jason Todd, no. So that's the one little thing that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit about this is because Jason Todd's Red Hood should have gone through. Like, we don't know how things are going to progress as far as like how he's going to become Red Hood because he hasn't become Red Hood yet.
What if they should do the whole crowbar thing with the Joker?
Yeah, but see, I don't know if they're going to do all that. Because that's a long story to go through to bring him just back as Red Hood and add Tim Drake all in the same season. So at the end of last season, he's just off doing his own thing. He's pissed off at Batman. He's pissed off at Dick Grayson because he just wants to be on his own, and he's pissed off at other people and stuff. So he kind of goes off on his own. So I think that his version of Red Hood is just going to be basically him just being ticked off at the world and kind of going off and coming back as this new character.
Yeah. From what I've heard, I could be wrong, but from what I heard, I think I read that they mentioned that there was no Lazarus hit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
which, like, I'm kind of bummed by that because, honestly, like, I like that story. I love the way that they ended up doing that in the comics and surprising everybody and bringing Jason Todd back. And the kid that they have playing Jason Todd and the attitude that they gave him is spot on. Because you hate him. You want to slap him. Every time he's on screen, you're just like, what a brat. Like, I just want to pop him in the head, but, it is what it is.
My thing was for like thinking about especially that would be like there's so much you'd have to do, assuming at least you adhered closely to the comics, not 100%, but like you'd have to, would Jason be looking for his quote unquote mother, or would he find the Joker when all that stuff happened, and then how would you bring him back, right?
Yeah. There's a lot there. There's a lot there to unpack. I don't know if they'll make Tim Drake Red Robin right away. Obviously, that's something that's supposed to be in the character's future. Cristiano here, like, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? He says Jason Todd is the worst part about Titans.
You're supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
I liked Red Robin, and at least the one thing I liked about the New 52 was like it was interesting to me was after Jason Todd dies in that universe. Basically, Batman for a little while decides he doesn't like this is prehistory to the events of any of the comics that are written, but he basically decides for a little while he doesn't want a quote unquote official Robin anymore.
Yes.
So he kind of just floats around, having Tim around the house or whatnot, and training him here and there. That's why Tim goes by Red Robin in the New 52 for a little while, or I think still is in Rebirth now. But
yeah,
and then before Damian Wayne came in.
Cristiano, so I'll give you this. He's annoying. He's annoying as heck, but that's Jason Todd. Like as far as that, like if you're gonna have Jason Todd, you couldn't have a better Jason Todd. Like you couldn't. I mean, that's how Jason Todd was. So they wrote him that way. That's why people wanted him dead back in the 80s, because they literally wrote him in a way where people hated the character so bad that when they put that out there and said, hey, vote to see if you want him to live or die, people were like, kill the kid, and
so in a way, it's perfect.
Totally, everybody wanted to kill Jason Todd.
Yeah, but it's that attitude. It's the way they wrote him. It's the way that they wrote him. They wrote him with that attitude. But I still say, and I got the comic somewhere up here. But I love the first comic that he appears in, because literally Batman finds him while he's stealing the wheels off the Batmobile, and it's one of the greatest Batman lines ever, because he just looks at it and he goes, the stones on somebody to steal the wheels off the Batmobile. That the person who did this has to have some stones, is what he says, or something like that. And it's just
You'll do, I guess.
It was dumb. It was dumb.
Yeah, it was. I loved it, man. I loved it. But I'm glad that they brought it back. The way that they did. For him. Now, the last thing that I had.
I saw something about that. I that's weird.
Any of you guys Buck Roger fans?
Love it.
I'm getting into it. I
have to go, guys. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Enosh.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, bro.
Guys, good to see you all. Thanks.
Bye.
Hey, man, it's always good having you on, Zen.
Oh, cheers, man.
Brother.
I'll catch you soon.
All right, bro. All right, man. So this thing about George Clooney, I don't. Is George Clooney ever going to be a really like a thing again? I mean, like they keep trying to make him. I get it. He's George Clooney. He is a thing, but in retrospect, like
the dude's lost his mojo.
I don't know if this is the thing for him to be Buck Rogers. I don't know.
I mean, he tried to do a famous thing back when he tried to do a famous thing.
I don't know, Buck Rogers, because
I'm sorry, you're chopping
Okay, good.
up.
I thought that was me.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened there. You guys both were talking over each other, and then
Wait, why is Buck Rogers' friend that is a robot looks like a gigantic silver dildo?
Oh man, honestly, Buck Rogers.
Like I'm just looking at photos of it right now, and it's just like it just looks. Yeah, I don't know. Like it looks like the head of a penis.
Anthony says Titans is on Earth 9 because of Crisis. Yes, thank you for the $2 super chat, Anthony.
That's true.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, you know,
is that the same Earth as the other CW shows and whatnot?
Oh no, that's Earth Prime.
Yeah, that's Earth Prime now.
Okay.
So they kind of
Earth One is the DCEU.
I'm still trying to figure out some of the corrections that they made now to some of that, because some of those Earths don't make any sense. Some of them are clever, you know, of how like because like there was like Earth 89 and that was 89 Batman.
Yeah.
You know, and that was clever. But like the Superman was it the Superman Returns one, or you know,
Brandon Routh? That's Earth 96.
Yeah, but okay,
Kingdom
but
Come.
yeah, is that what that was?
Kingdom Come.
That's
Came out,
right.
I think in 96, I think it was.
96, that's right. But see, that's kind of weird too, because that was supposed to be Christopher Reeves. But
it was effectively Earth 78.
So I don't know. So yeah,
So
so
it's supposed to be like a bit of both.
yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but it's just kind of like one of those you know, kind of weird things. Yeah, see, like Deck here is like kind of with me. He says yes, George Clooney kind of lost his mojo a couple years already, you know, but this is saying that you know, apparently he's reportedly circling a reboot of pulp hero Buck Rogers, and he will executive produce and potentially star in for Legendary. The studio is currently developing.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Too old.
Yeah, it's
No, he's too old to be Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers was not a gray-haired man. Buck Rogers was a test pilot for NASA. Was in his 20s and got lost in space. Maybe he aged. Maybe they de-age him CGI and they re-age him into that thing. Then yes, okay, cool.
I don't know. I'm looking at pictures of the actor who played him.
I love
and
it.
this dude was clearly in his 40s.
Well, that's Jill Gerard. That's Jill Gerard, man. That, you know, he actually wasn't back then. He looks
old.
He did look old, but that's how a lot of those.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah. I'll pull up.
Here's the thing,
what?
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to this, I don't think like this may be the right choice for George Clooney, because if you remember, he did try another famous character back in the late 90s when he did Batman.
Well, yeah.
You guys are talking like the 80s series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 79.
Okay.
Jill Gerard was 36.
Oh wow.
36.
Okay, so
during
we were both fine. We were both wrong. But
in 1984, Gil Gerard was 36.
79 to 81.
He says he's 41.
79 to 81.
But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't care how old he was. You know who was absolutely stunning?
Yeah,
about this whole time is Aaron Gray.
We all know. Anybody over 35 makes that. Yeah, that's money, right?
And let me just say,
dude, I'm 38 and I don't know who she is.
Oh, dude.
So like I don't know who you're talking about. Like,
I'm sorry.
Anyone over 30? I was literally like not even a thought yet when the show premiered. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll comment quickly on what Ryan Hartwell said here. Buck Rogers was basically Star Wars before Star Wars was a thing. Buck Rogers existed, and then
Star Wars.
Well, no. The original character was created in 1928. Basically, one of the newspaper comic strip syndicates saw the character's comic strips and wanted to create a competitive character, and that's how he got Flash Gordon, who got made into movie serials, which is what Lucas wanted to originally make. He couldn't get the rights to Flash Gordon, so he made A New Hope instead.
Yep.
Just
you're absolutely
show more
right.
Pictures of
Aaron Gray.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have held that woman's hand.
What?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
He never.
I have to ask the inappropriate question. I just have to ask the inappropriate question here.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Have you guys ever, and drink if the answer is yes, have you guys ever taken care of yourself to someone that you've met who's a celebrity?
Oh, whoa.
Sorry, I couldn't think of the right way to answer that, to say that question without being entirely inappropriate. Like, have you ever met anyone you've beat off to? Like, I mean, it's just, you know.
Let's get back to the fact that Brian K. Vaughan's writing this series, please and thank you. I'm intrigued by that.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Jarbo. I appreciate
I'm just saying,
that.
I've met Julie Strain, you know, so it's.
Are you drinking TW?
No.
No.
I haven't met enough people.
Pinky's out. Pinky's out. Or Pinky's in.
Cheers.
Phrasing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, Mike Casilli's drinking for sure.
Gonna get drunk tonight.
That's why I changed my name for Jarbo.
Yeah, well, you know.
McTiernan back.
Yes. So,
Like, that guy
so
told
here's
me.
the funny thing.
He's
So here's the
almost
funny thing. I have a friend named Mike. Beer.
Hi.
And actually, Matt, it's really funny because Tiffany the other day we were watching a video of yours. We were watching your latest Doomcock video on our way home.
Oh, okay.
We had gone on a little day trip, and we're on our way back, and she's like, she's like, every time I hear Matt, he reminds me of somebody, and I'm like, I already know who it is. It's Mike Beer, and she goes, oh my gosh, it is so Mike Beer. Beer. His name is Beer.
Oh, Beer.
His name is Mike Beer, and I did an online radio show with him for 5 years, like very similar to this podcast kind of deal, right? So when you and I have banter, it's very similar, because when he first joined the show, I was part of another thing with another guy, and we used to call him Mike the Raging Liberal, because he was very leftist and had it was just really funny. And so we ended up doing the show, and I used to try to egg him on and try to annoy him and everything, and it was kind of a funny spoof. But I was telling her, I was like, basically I said Matt and Mike are very, very similar in just how because the way you both have a way of, you both speak well, you both kind of share similar views. You both have that way of trying to push the envelope sometimes and say things, they're naughty, or, trying to egg people on, you know what I'm saying? But the funny thing is so Mike, yeah.
I'm just laughing at Rel. We all know Tony is drinking that Ripple.
Hey, I'm not drinking Red Bull, okay? Thank you.
No, Ripple.
Mike is a huge fan of Aaron Gray. He had such a crush on Aaron Gray growing up. And so I went to my Comic-Con. I went to Motor City Comic-Con one year, and she was there. And I just went up and talked to her, and I said, hey, first of all, I got to say, it's very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you and stuff. Actually, you know what I remembered her most from when I was a teenager? Remember the show Silk Stockings?
Oh,
sounds like something
that was Zalman King, right? No, that was Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh yeah,
I always get them confused. Which one was the porno?
Well, it wasn't a porno, but what it was on regular TV. But every episode had girls in bikinis or negligee, and it was like a Saturday night show that would come on once a week and stuff. When you're 13, 14-year-old boy,
Was this Fox 50? Was this the Fox 50 show?
It probably was. No, I think it was on. No. You know what it was? It was on CBS, because CBS had. Yes, it was. It was on late night CBS. CBS had an ongoing thing every night. They had these different shows that were like mystery shows, because this was like a cop show, but it was in the 90s, and it was called Silk Stockings. And so
I remember that show. Yes,
it was about a guy and a girl who were police officers, detectives and stuff. And so they were always solving these
boobs.
Yeah, and so they would always Rel remembers, says I hated how they killed off the main guy character. Yeah, so but the thing is, she was on an episode of that, and I remember that being a big deal because Mike remembered that so well, because they had her. She played a sex therapist, actually, who was killing off people, killing off these guys who would come to her for help. But that was her thing. She was, they had Aaron Gray in, a sexy outfit or whatever, and so anyways, I got to talk to her. I shook her hand. I told her, I said, I know this is going to sound like a weird request. I said, but my friend Mike has been in love with you since he was, a young kid. I said, can I get a picture shaking your hand?
And she says, absolutely. She said, absolutely. So like, she gives me her hand, and I was just going to like hold her hand and like pose, for Tiffany with it. She does one of these numbers, and you got to love a woman who knows her power of being a sexy woman, because like I hold her hand and she does one of these numbers on my hand. And I kind of went, I don't care that you're in your 50s.
I would have touched myself.
Did you get turned on?
It was that. Oh my God, I'll tell you what. She's a beautiful woman, and she was so kind and so nice. Yeah, I just.
Oh my God.
Hey, she was.
I can't
great.
believe we just had this conversation.
I mean, like, I've been to Comic-Con enough times to see like when they have like the actresses from Sci-Fi that were like the sexy ones. And then you see like the orbiters, the ones that like never go away, and you're like, they're weird and they're weird. But I mean, like, to the credit of like the actress, they they put on a good show, and they they make it.
Well, the first time I ever went
weird.
to the Motor City Comic-Con, we made a joke actually, because like now like Erin Gray, like she aged well. She never like got any kind of crazy surgeries or anything like that, whatever. But the first time we ever went, they had a whole row of people. There was probably like 4 or 5 former like Playboy Playmates who were set up there. And we walked past, and I made the joke to Tiffany. I said, this is kind of like where they put the old Playmates out to pasture, I guess. Like, I mean, because like it was just sad because they were trying to act sexy just in a way that, you know what I mean? Like,
were you like $100 an hour, $50 an hour, $25 an hour, $5 an hour?
Deck brings up not what Deck says here. I didn't see the first thing he said, but okay, so for a lot of people,
sorry.
Linda Carter would actually be a contemporary to Erin Gray.
Yes,
as far as like,
yeah.
So
no, they were the same. Come on, Wonder Woman
was 77. Wonder Woman was 77.
I will
Buck Rogers was 79.
I will say though that Linda Carter, though, I mean, my gosh, what is she, 80? And she's
69. She's 69.
69. So she's 70 almost. And she looks so good. I mean, she's just
as
a beautiful
46-year-old man.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful, beautiful woman. I would like to say, okay? Not like an old woman. That is a beautiful freaking woman right there.
Oh, Tiffany and I, had that conversation. Oh, Dex says that he met Linda Carter back in This was the comment that I was.
Oh, really?
I wasn't looking for that last comment. But no, it's all right.
Here's the thing. For me, when I got to take a picture with Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, when his hand touched my shoulder, I felt a chill going through me.
Seeing Rel's comment, I'm thinking, of course, the Panthers fans into a cougar.
What are you looking at? What's that look for?
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Right.
Ace and Gary. That's an ambiguously gay duo. Thing. Nothing. No.
I just want to see what it's like to zoom in on you.
Andrew, I should say. No, I said that because we're all talking about like Erin Gray or Linda Carter, touch my hand or like put their arm around. Like, I met the girl who played Betty.
God damn it!
Yeah, you did. You walked right in. I met. Hey, whatever your thing is, I ain't judging you, man. But like, I met the girl also who played Betty in Revenge of the Nerds, and like that was the funniest thing because she literally had the pie pans there. And Tiffany and I went up and said hi to her. We got a picture with her. We got a thing signed by her. We actually have a picture out in our hallway that says, "Oh my God, I'm in love with a nerd." And it's to me and her and stuff. Now, the pie plates that were there weren't the pie plates from the movie where, but, that was one of those things, too, where it's like, we met that lady and she was super nice. But, we had just watched the movie a couple nights before, literally. And because they had like a bunch of the cast. They had the guy who played Booger. They had the guy who played Ogre. They had quite a few of the people from the original cast of that movie. And so, But it was just funny because we're all talking about these experiences and Andrew's like, man, that Kevin Conroy.
Okay, I didn't think it would lead to that, man. My
He leaned right. That Kevin Conroy leaned right over into my ear,
Andrew's
and
young. Remember that.
he's like, "Hey,
I
hey,
didn't think it meant that.
I'm Kevin Conroy. I'm Kevin Conroy."
No, what? No, I'm doing
Look
something.
up and
I'm-
be hi.
He leaned right over into Matt's ear, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm Kevin Conroy. I'm the voice of Batman."
I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Matt Jarbo, the voice of me."
Oh my God.
Hey, Matt, you want to come back to the Bat Cave with me, and I'll show you some of my Bat gadgets.
Oh my
Are you inviting me to go spelunking in the Batcave? Because
I'll just say it this way: let's go.
Jarbo, do you own a hockey
All right.
jersey?
do I? No, I don't have a hockey jersey.
That's why I changed my name. Hey,
No,
come on.
I don't have one. I
Why not?
I do not, because I'm not. I'm not that much of a Canadian.
Come on.
Like I have, like my mom's from Canada, but like
Well,
I like hockey, but
Do you want a jersey? I'll send you one.
yeah,
Hold on,
sure. I
wait a
like a
second.
jersey.
Is Kevin Conroy gay?
What?
Why is this
I've never
why is
heard
this
that.
a gay thing?
It's not. I'm just no. It was brought up. Somebody,
Oh my God.
Andrew Christie in the chat said, "Isn't Conroy gay?"
According to the
Never heard that.
let's see
I didn't
here.
know that either.
His Wikipedia page. It says he's openly gay.
Kevin Conroy apparently is gay, but he's been married. That's cool.
I never knew that.
Batman is gay.
Who cares?
Rel never knew that either.
Full
Yeah.
circle, apparently.
Enosh Damas.
Oh my God.
Oh, did you? Okay, someone sent me a clip of him earlier today, talking about the last episode of WandaVision.
Oh,
And-
Jody.
That was a great clip. That was a
Did-
great clip.
Yeah,
But you know what? I am going to. You know what?
I haven't seen episode 4 yet.
Okay, no, Matt. You know what? I am going to stick to what I said. I
Yeah,
saw
no,
the
I get
clip.
you. I get
saw
you.
the clip. I saw the clip. I keep my vows.
yeah.
And so the clip is very funny though. If you do see the clip, it is very funny.
It's very funny. It is. That's the best way to describe it. I would say.
Enosh?
Yes.
No, I'm asking like who was the clip of? I missed that part of the conversation.
Okay.
I'll link it in the private chat.
Yeah, link it in the
Oh,
private.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of our past friends.
Yeah, an old acquaintance.
Yes, who is very loud sometimes, and
That's
actually,
a name I haven't heard in a long time.
and actually, you know, I mean, we've talked about with Ray Fisher. You know, that like he was the guy who helped introduce us to Ray Fisher. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, he's the one that put us all together.
Did what was it? Did you guys see that because last night when I think or 2 nights ago there was that whole Sean Cannell upset with Ray Fisher, but they corrected it. They figured out what it was.
Yeah,
Did you catch the update on that?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
good.
like, it's
glad-
an honest mistake. Honestly, it's an honest mistake.
Oh my God,
Like,
I want it right now.
Yeah, we've talked about that today. Me and Prime and Dawson talked about it. It's like I said there. It's like, okay, look, I don't know anything, personally about that situation. I've never talked to Sean O'Connell. I don't know anything about that. But like from what I saw on the outside looking in, it looked like he did something that I haven't seen anybody else do. At least is say, hey, I made a mistake. I thought it was this, but it was this. And he actually handled it in the way that I think somebody probably should handle it if there was a misunderstanding, And so, like, I don't know what the private conversation he had with Ray or whatever was, beyond that. But, hopefully, I got to take that for, face value, what.
Well, I mean, like, because it's not hard sometimes to like lose the thread if you're having like ongoing conversations. So I totally get that because that's what caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? Because I've seen people attacking Sean. Like, I criticized him, so people were like. And then he updated the article, which is all I could ask for. Yep. And which is good. That's ethics. And that's what I was asking for. And then but I've seen people attacking him because like, there's this weird side group of people that are just like, if you're not if you've ever expressed doubt over Zack Snyder, you are not worthy to support him sort of thing.
Sean's the one that wrote the article about the book, right? He's writing the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what we talked about also, Matt, earlier tonight was the fact that, there's a lot of people who weren't here at the beginning of the movement, who, you know, have come over and maybe they've, you know, changed and they, you know, now they support Zach, you know, they see what's going on with it and, you know, and they're on board. And I've never understood why we're trying to kick, we're not trying to, but I mean, why some are trying to like alienate those people or tell them that they can't be a part of it. Like the deal is like, isn't that what we want? And then we want is for people to say, you know what, hey, yeah, you know what, I see this. This is something that I am going to support.
My thing was I didn't actually know all the details. That's why I was like, is this what it is, Matt? Like, so does everybody know all the details? That's the thing. Like, can you explain it right from the beginning, Matt, or no?
I'm sorry. Could you say that one more time?
Can you explain it from the beginning of how it all is?
I was reading something, so of the O'Connell thing. Yeah. So like back in like 2013, he put out a video on Cinema Blend saying like Zack Snyder shouldn't direct Justice League, and he had been critical of Man of Steel.
I'll be right back. By the way, go ahead.
And I mean, it's honestly just things like that, where it's just like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, he was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not for me. And then it's just like, but he turned around and he came in and get this book, and, you know, people are looking at it at it being a kind of a for-profit endeavor that, you know, that kind of sullies the movement to an extent. And it's like, nah, the guy wrote a book, you know, you can choose to buy it or not buy it. He was able to get a story out of Zach before a lot of other people could get that story out of Zach. He was able to get like access to information that a lot of people still, as far as I can tell, haven't been able to get access to or piece together in a way that is cohesive enough to kind of stand as ultimately like the Bible on this particular situation, because that's what it boils down to is people are going to need a you know, a through line of everything from beginning to end, you know, because there's all these, you know, it's like you can go and find For Snyder Cut. I think forsnydercut.org is Fiona's website. And like that gives you a pretty good timeline breakdown. But there's also like other little tidbits of information around the way. It's like, well, you know, maybe a book, the normies. It's the normies that aren't going to be the denizens of the internet that would go for that. It's kind of like it's like Gamergate, for example. That was a thing from 2014 that I was a part of that's been completely distorted by the media. And like I was interviewed a couple weeks ago from a YouTuber with nearly 1 million subs that does documentaries, and they've been building out a Gamergate documentary, and they asked me to, like, you know, to answer questions to fill in some gaps because I was there literally from the beginning. So it's just like talking about that and like going, this is like, you know, I talk about the ethics part of it. Like, you know, me criticizing Sean was literally like me going back to the old days of Gamergate. Like, this is an ethics issue, and keeping it very surface level on that front. So there's a lot that, you know, that goes into this whole Snyder Cut thing that I think people need to know about. And not everyone is going to be, you know, like digging through Twitter. Not everyone is going to be aware of this, you know, and people that are in bookstores, if it goes to bookstores, or people that are surfing around on, you know, Amazon when they go to buy Zack Snyder's Justice League or something equivalent, that might pop up in a recommended, and they go, oh, that's kind of cool. I can get that, you know. And I have a buddy of mine who sells books at Comic-Con. And he has a booth, you know, he sold out of like 600, 700 books from people who've never met him before, but just random passerbys that just happened to like the title of the book and him kind of explaining what it was, you know, and people will buy things, impulse buy, whether it piques their interest or whatever. So it's good to get it out to a group of people that are not going to be the most internet savvy, but you still want to have them know the story.
It's clickbait without being clickbait.
Well, I mean, everything is clickbait. Everything is clickbait to an extent. It's what you do with it that matters, right? So everything has to be enticing to get you in the front door. You know, you wouldn't go to a strip club if it was like 3 pigs in a blanket. You know what I mean? And you're like, is this for farmers or is this for yeah, you wouldn't go to that. It has to be enticing. There's got to be something that lures you in. The same thing with titles and thumbnails. But it's always the substance of the content that is the key. And you know, and I haven't read Sean's writing. I mean, you know, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I've heard some people say it's good from what they've read. Other people, I think, have criticized it. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime, I just want to see the damn movie. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Like, you know, Because the next,
I just heard from someone recently that he's doing another book. This time it's about the history of the Spider-Man films from the very beginning to the MCU.
That should be interesting. I mean, I'd like to see, if he is able to score an interview with like Raimi or score an interview with Toby or Kristen or
Cameron.
Yeah, he's going to talk about all the canceled stuff, like with James Cameron and the Spider-Man 4 and all stuff that didn't come to be.
Well, was it Spider-Man 4 and if I recall, they offered Toby like $50 million for Spider-Man 4 and 5, and he turned it down. And I don't blame him, to be honest with you. Superhero work takes a lot out of you, and
but I did hear from someone that he still loves the character and still cares about his fans.
Well, the thing is, that's what he's most known for. It's like. It's so people come up to you like, oh my, kids are gonna come and go, oh my God, you're Toby. They're not gonna go, you were in F and Sea Biscuit. They're not gonna go like you were in Pleasantville when you were younger. Like they're not gonna these.
Toby, I saw you in Sea Biscuit. No,
weren't you the main guy from fucking Sea Biscuit, dude? Like that was you.
Weren't you in that movie with Robert Downey Jr.?
What was that movie where you had sex with Robert Downey Jr. or Iron Man boned Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, like with Michael Douglas.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Douglas was in it too. It's like no one's gonna sit there and go, "Oh, wait, weren't you in that like fake movie trailer in the beginning of Tropic Thunder?" Like it's just they're gonna know him as Spider-Man, and that becomes his legacy, and that becomes who he is. And that's a problem that a lot of actors, I think, have these days. Is they're not defined.
I don't think Tobey Maguire is like is Spider-Man. Like when you think of him. He's done so many other things. I don't think he's actually Spider-Man.
No, I mean I know him most and best as Spider-Man.
When you think Tobey Maguire, first thing I think of Spider-Man. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Do you think of Seabiscuit?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I
like,
don't think it's Spider-Man.
I'll be honest with you. I've never really enjoyed a lot of Tobey Maguire's other work outside of Spider-Man. To be honest with you, I don't know. He's not somebody that ever lit a fire for me. Like I've never thought of him as a leading man. I felt like even in Spider-Man, he was very emo even before Spider-Man 3. He was very. We saw how many shots of him, going.
Yeah, like that's why I don't see him as my Spider-Man. Like not my Spider-Man.
Here's the thing, like
which is fine. I don't hate him.
Here's the thing. A friend of mine said that he ran into him at the airport and he told him that he loves him. He's Spider-Man, and he told him that he loves the character and the fans, and if given the chance, he would do it again.
Of course,
I'll agree with Andrew Christie here. I did like Pleasantville. Pleasantville is
that was
I did like Pleasantville. I'm with Enosh. I like Pleasantville. He's a good actor.
I got you, Rel.
I'm gonna jump on my chair. Dude.
That's why I got him on the other end, Rel. That's why he's on the other end. He'll have to go through TW.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I have a hot take as usual. I think Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man.
Yes, I agree.
But my favorite one right now is Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland in that role. I love him more than the other two.
The best Spider-Man there is right now. Tom Holland's figuring it out. I like that.
I disagree with all of you.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yuri Lowenthal, who voiced Spider-Man in the 2018 game, he was fantastic. And I really don't like that they updated the look of that guy. Like they updated his graphic model, and it just looks. I'm like, no, this is the one I got. This is the actor. This is the character that I actually grew fond of while playing this game. So yeah, it's let's see.
I like Josh Keaton in Spectacular. I thought he did a good job.
He's an awesome one too. In fact,
Terry McGuire
to save the show.
Jacob Looney.
Wasn't that was the 2009 one, right? The short-lived one that everyone likes. Okay.
Yeah. Spectacular Spider-Man.
Because that was a Lionsgate production, if I recall. This is the thing.
They've gone through the Marvel transition, and that's why they basically couldn't keep the show going. From what I understand, as to what basically was the reason for the cancellation.
No, that makes the most amount of sense. But I mean, it was. Disney? Yeah, Disney, they wanted to do their own thing, and it was. But if you go back and you look at the early 2000s Marvel animated content that was all being produced and distributed through Lionsgate, that was actually pretty good stuff. Like Ultimate Avengers 2, The Incredible Iron Man. Movies. They had Doctor Strange, Hulk versus Thor.
No,
Still never seen it.
I'm sorry. This is the wrong comment. It's supposed to be this one. Joker. What all is that black and white anyways? Like I don't think it's either you like it or you don't. I like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever.
Facts.
Like it's a great superhero movie. Tobey Maguire's fine. But that doesn't mean that I can't point out the things of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that I feel are over the top and ridiculous. He's a little mopey, right? I don't think of him as being like, the same problem that I have with Kirsten Dunst. Is it Kirsten or? Yeah, it's Kirsten.
Kirsten. Yeah, I said Kristen earlier.
Kirsten Dunst. Like, she is not the comic accurate
But the nipples, come on.
Mary Jane. She's not the comic accurate Mary Jane. She's not the voluptuous, sexy, you just hit when she told Tobey Maguire, go get him, Tiger. Like it was more kind of the girl next door kind of saying, go get him, Tiger. And
more Gwen than it was MJ.
Fine. It doesn't mean that I hate it, but I don't think that I either have to like it or not like it. I'm just like, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But I think I honestly don't think out of like him and Garfield, I don't think that either one of them absolutely knocked it out of the park and nailed it. I think that between the two, they both make up a really good Peter Parker and a really good Spider-Man.
Yes.
And I think out of the two, if you combine those two, it's really good. One of the things that I do like about Tom Holland, I don't like how much his version has to rely on Tony Stark.
Iron Man Jr.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I like him as being the teenage one because he's the only Spider-Man so far that I've seen that out of all of those guys who I actually believe as a teenager in high school.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, in most comics, he didn't stay in high school that long.
That is a fair point. The only thing is, I think that these Spidey comics, these Spidey films, I think are closer to like Ultimate Spider-Man in many respects than they are, or at least closer to them than other variations from what I've seen. Personally, I could be wrong.
To me, she's
my
not.
interpretation.
To me,
you got there.
To me, you can't tell me. Now, hold on a second. Hold on, just 1 second here. Let me pull up Mary Jane Watson from the comics. Okay.
Oh boy!
You tell me.
Put it to the test.
You tell me that that this is Kirsten Dunst.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Oh.
Really?
I got drunk with her in Banff. Yes, she is amazing.
You what?
I got drunk with her in Banff.
Okay. Look at this woman. Look
that picture right there from the first one. Yeah.
You see this one right here? That doesn't look anything like this woman right here.
She drank so many shots of Jaeger, she couldn't even speak when I put her in a taxi.
Wait, you actually met her, Tony?
Look, she's cute.
No, I'm not even joking. Yeah, no, she was in Banff. Yeah,
she's cute. She's cute. She is not voluptuous and like smoking, like, because this is what they make Mary Jane Watson out to be, is like she's a supermodel. She's super like hyper sexy. You know what I mean? Like look at this classic one. This classic version of her, right? It's this super hyper like sexy version of Mary Jane Watson.
You don't think
Kirsten Dunst?
Who are you,
Kirsten Dunst looks like the girl next door. You know who I actually thought like
that's what I was going to ask you. Who do you think from contemporaneous would have been good?
You know who? Give me a minute to think about this because there is a couple people, but you know who would have looked good even as a redhead because she's a natural redhead.
Who
is who played what's her name in Garfield? But
no, she's actually blonde.
Who?
Oh no, that's right. That's right. Because they switch. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah. Emma, you're thinking Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Yeah,
she's Gwen Stacy.
That's not redhead.
She's only Gwen Stacy because she was cast in that role. I'm saying I think that she would have made a better Mary Jane Watson than.
But I thought she did well as Gwen Stacy. I thought she did well in the role, and I liked how it
I did too. I like.
is,
I'm not saying
my
she
question
didn't.
is-
I'm saying she, when she's a redhead, she has that kind of.
Okay, we all love redheads.
Yes, and my question though is, who from around 2002, let's ballpark 02 when that film came out, who do you think would have been good then? Not Emma Stone, but like who do you think would have been good from that period for MJ?
In 2002?
Well, because that's when the film came out, right?
Famke Janssen.
Famke Janssen? Jean Grey?
Yeah,
No, what? No, huh?
No.
She wouldn't even be MJ age in '96 when she was, Xenia Onatopp and Goldeneye.
Whatever,
so like,
man. I don't care.
like, okay. I mean, if you just want to slap a red wig on her and go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, I get that. But
someone between 18 and 25 in 2002, right?
yeah, because I was between that age and that time. You know what? Here's the thing. Mila Kunis, I think, could have done it. I think you made Mila Kunis a redhead.
94, she would have been like 13.
No, she 2002. She was. She would have been 18 or 19 in 2002.
She was she was I think 15 during the first season of
which was 98.
Show. Yeah, 98. So that would have been about 18, 19, and 02. Yeah, that would have been
or 99. I think I forget. Yeah,
Spider-Man was made in the 90s. What about Nicole Kidman?
I mean, Chase Meridian. I liked her as Chase Meridian.
I liked her
like a professional at that point.
True.
She was playing professional.
Yeah.
90s.
If it was the 90s, I don't know. Maybe Alicia Silverstone with a red wig.
I could buy that.
It'd be better than Batgirl. Let's be fair.
Very true.
Be better than Batgirl.
At least the Schumacher cut.
Yeah.
Besides Sam Vernon, Zendaya was not Mary Jane.
Who?
Huh?
Someone in the chat said Zendaya was pretty good as MJ, and she was not Mary Jane.
Well, she is.
She's MJ. She's just not
MJ.
Yeah.
She's just not Mary Jane Watson.
She is. I think.
And you know what? And here's the thing. I've made peace with that. And I'm okay with it.
Universe. It's a different universe.
It's
right?
like I'm okay with it. I think they have good chemistry.
They seem
I
to
like.
be good.
Far From Home really sold her. I was a little bit like I groaned a lot in the Homecoming when she had that my friends call me MJ line. Like my whole audience groaned.
I bet they were like, "Ooh."
They were just like, "Oh, come on," you know what I mean? And in a Marvel movie, you never want the audience to do that. And then my Far From Home, I think she did much better, and they really beefed up the character a bit, and thought that was pretty good.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I agree, Joker.
Like, I don't know about people who were like around during that time. I'm trying to find you know who in her prime, obviously not what she became, but in her prime, who would have been
Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, absolutely.
Whoa, really?
And
all you had to say was in her prime, and I'm like, but the thing is though, she didn't
down.
That would have been around the same time.
But Kirby Fully Loaded came out in 2005, and she was 18 when that was shot. So
okay,
well, I think
let me show you this. Let me show
that
you
is
this.
the
Barbarella. Come on, man.
Yeah, she's got that red hair when she was in
Look at her.
The
Look at her there.
Oh, well, there's Karen Gillan as
her.
well.
I love her. I want to take her to Canada so she doesn't have to worry about any more American press.
She definitely got that red hair when she was in Mean Girls.
Yeah, I like. Mean Girls
she was when she was in Mean Girls, she looked.
Something that blew my mind about that film was like Mean Girls is great. I had no idea. I didn't realize this for whatever reason. Mean Girls and The Notebook came out in the same year. I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
Just clicked. I'm like, oh my goodness, it did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lindsay Lohan before 2005.
Well,
okay. But I mean, okay. Look, even look at here at Emma, right? So Emma has that she just has that unique kind of just, you believe her as a model. You know what I mean? Like it just I never got that vibe with Kirsten here. Just
love Kristen.
she's got a girl next door look. She's pretty. I'm not saying she's not pretty because she's definitely pretty.
Little Soldiers, man. Little Soldiers. I think that was her movie before.
Oh wait, yeah.
Oh, Small Soldiers. Small Soldiers.
Soldiers.
That's the one with
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones. That's the evil.
That's kind of where I was like, oh, she's getting hot. You know,
That was one of I think that was like Phil Hartman's last movie, actually.
Yeah, and that was the one with Tommy Lee Jones. That's the killer toy.
Yeah, it was funny because then you had Frank Langella, who was Skeletor in He-Man as Archer, the good guy.
Yeah.
So
That was Frank Langella?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Archer. Yeah.
Yes.
That came out.
Lundgren.
Yeah, that came out in the summer of 2008. I know, sorry, of 1998, and I was working at a theater at the time, so I watched that quite a few times.
See, like look at this. This almost looks like Emma Watson, or not Emma Watson. Emma Stone. This almost looks like Emma Stone there.
I mean, there's a picture right
Are you
there.
looking at something different? Because you've just been on the same image for like the last couple of minutes, so I don't know what you're looking at.
Am I looking at something different? Oh, I guess I am.
Yeah, you clicked over. You clicked over to another thing.
Yeah, because I was showing Lindsay. Because but no, I was looking at I think this right here.
Oh.
Yeah, like look at like this right here. Like she almost looks like Emma Stone there.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean,
I want to go reread Spider-Man.
Even though Meredith Racy, there was another actress who did play Gwen Stacy who was also a redhead, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, and she was. I mean, Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't think. Look, this is gonna sound probably like terribly sexist, but Bryce Dallas Howard, I don't think really kind of went to like redhead hotness until like Jurassic World. So that was in 2015.
Of course.
You know, but I mean, she was hot. No, she's always good looking. I think she's very good looking.
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed her work. Actually, I think some of the best work. If you guys have ever seen the episode of Black Mirror season 4 that she was in,
yes.
Oh, I think I saw
that episode because I was doing Uber delivery at the time, Uber driving at the time, not the food delivery, and like they kind of you live and die by your rating system.
Yeah.
So like on that episode when everyone like gives you ratings and stuff, I was like, it gave me anxiety. I was like, holy shit. You know, I love Black Mirror.
On an unrelated note,
I love
the
Black Mirror.
profession. I'm thinking about the profession thing. It's like I work retail, so it's like I like Superstore, but I can't watch it because it's like work. It's like watching work at home. I can't do it.
You know what? When I was in LA for Rise of Skywalker, I actually took my Lyft driver drove past the Superstore set.
Oh no!
So I got to see that. Too. I thought that was awesome. I was like so happy to see it. I love
Amy Adams.
It's a great show. It's just I can't watch it too much because it's too much of work at home.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Here's the thing. Yeah, this is one. Ela Fisher. Ela Fisher would have been good as Mary Jane.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's her right here, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Ela Fisher.
She would
and she actually played Mary Jane in 2003's Scooby Doo.
Which I like to call wink. Which I like to call it wink. I like to call it wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Mystery Inc. or Stoners the movie.
Yeah,
Shaggy falls in love with a girl named Mary Jane. Really, guys? Come on.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie. I love that movie.
The first lines out of Shaggy's mouth after the time jump are, "Wow, man, talk about toasted." Are you kidding?
I remember.
It's great. No. What I love
wrote the script.
James Gunn did such an amazing job on that script, and then was it Alexander Aja also directed it? I think.
I think it was Raja Gosnell.
Raja Gosnell. Thank you, Raja Gosnell. Alexander Aja does the horror films. But
look at this picture of her, man. That almost doesn't even look like Bryce Dallas Howard.
No. Well, I mean, people compare her to Jessica Chastain all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think Jessica Chastain would have been. Allison Hannigan maybe would have been a good one. Coming off of the American Pie movies,
maybe. I mean, she's kind of got a nerdy look, more of a kind of nerdy look. But yeah. I mean, it's possible.
I can buy it.
Oh, a younger. I mean, she's a little old here, but I can't remember her name.
She's from Desperate Housewives, right?
Well, she was also on Melrose Place. She had the famous thing where she pulled off her wig and it was like a big scar on her head. You know?
I hate that David. He's so smug. Or whatever that Seinfeld bit was.
Julianne Moore's old Mary Jane. I'd be okay with that.
Sam born in 1988 says Scooby-Doo 2002 broke my heart, Matt.
I just love the fact that Scrappy was the bad guy because F Scrappy.
Yeah, but at least they had a perfect cast and Shaggy and Matthew Lillard.
And then Linda Cardinelli as Velma was great. They made that movie actually. People walked out of that movie going like, "Wait, in what world do we live in where Velma is sexier than Daphne?"
Right?
You know, it's like what? And then they played that up for the sequel because they put Velma in like that all leather outfit, like
in love with Seth Green.
Seth Green, yeah.
Which I don't like. Of course, I don't buy. It's like I'm thinking, of course, how would anyone buy this? And then I'm realizing, oh yeah, Seth Green's married to Claire Grant. So there you go.
Oh, and the funny thing is the actress you just said, Jarbo, who played Velma, that was Hawkeye's wife in Age of Ultron.
Yep. Yeah, I've liked her for a long time actually.
And she actually did play a redhead character. And she did play a redhead character at one point. She was, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting her character's name. From Gravity Falls.
Wendy.
Oh yeah.
Wendy,
Gravity Falls is such a good show.
I think that's one of the best shows Disney's done in a couple of years. Like I really like it.
And then now got another great show I'm watching right now on Disney XD.
Which show?
Oh, it's a new one. They call it the Owl House.
Oh, the Owl House. Yeah.
I mean, my kids are like my daughter.
We lost Tony.
Yeah.
He's been gone for about 5 minutes, or maybe 2-3 minutes.
I'm sorry, I've been off here.
His stuff cracked. His looks like his browser crapped out or whatever, or he's just drunk. I mean, he's Canadian. We really have no way of knowing. His language is so different. The dialect's so archaic.
We have spent about 15 minutes here trying to compare to see who would be a better Mary Jane.
It's really just been you perusing hot redhead actresses. Let's just be fair. Let's call it what it is.
Yes.
You're just like Enosh went silent. We can only see one of his hands. That's all I'm saying.
And it's Tiff's birthday, which makes us even worse.
Yeah, there you go. No, Tiff would be right in here with me going, yeah, she's kind of hot. She's not hot.
Brother, happy birthday.
What you should have done is like the slider a box of red hair dye and just go like,
Tiffany, I'll tell you what, Tiffany had blue hair at one point. Tiffany has had some amazing hair colors. I mean, she did the black with like red streaks at one point.
Oh, nice.
She did this. What she did was she did it red. And she meant to just put some blue streaks in it, like a couple of blue streaks. And when they did it, they messed it up. But and she cried at first, but then when she actually like saw it dry and it actually came out, it was so cool because it was blue. I'll have to pull up some pictures sometime. It had these blue, it had teals and blondes and these bright blues and then like these grays, and it kind of went into like a couple of. I mean, it was something you could never recreate again. But she looked absolutely amazing.
Sounds like a really cool sci-fi hairdo.
It was.
I'm not saying it as an insult. I'm saying like that's a compliment.
Oh, I know, man. I'm telling you what. It was. If I can if I can do it real quick, I'll see if I can pull up one other thing, because she's had a lot of different hair colors. And it might be one of her profile pictures, because if it is, here we go. Well, here's one of them. So I
was thinking of just Spider-Man real quick. I was like, have you guys ever read Spider-Man Blue?
No, I haven't heard that comic.
I really like it. It's basically sort of really quickly. It's like a 6-issue miniseries. It's Loeb and Sale. It's one of the color books they did. They did Hulk Gray, Captain America White, Spider-Man Blue. They did Daredevil Yellow, and it's basically so it's the basic premise is it's sort of adult Peter Parker in his house now. He finds like a tape recorder in his attic, and it's Valentine's Day, and he's thinking about his old relationship with Gwen Stacy, and so it's like him remembering the time like when him and Gwen fell in love. It's a surprisingly heartfelt story, and it's kind of juxtaposed against like a run from the 70s where like a bunch of supervillains are like trying to kill Spidey on behalf of Goblin, who is presumed dead at this point. So it's really
Norman Osborn.
Yeah, like because it's to the point where like Goblin's presumed dead. So like, but somehow Craven's doing something for him, and it's like, but he's supposed to be dead. Anyways, long and short, it's sort of framed like that, and then it ends where it ends in the present again, where like at this point Peter's a little older. He's married to MJ now, and there's a moment where he's kind of talking into the. It's a spoiler, but like I like if you guys don't mind me discussing it.
Yeah, that is cool because funny thing enough, like my first exposure to the character Spider-Man was the original Fox Kids '90s cartoon. Then the ring.
Same here.
Okay,
That
so
was great.
So I found these pictures of Tiff, and we'll go through them. So first, I'll show before I show you the blue, I'll show you these that she did, where she did the black with like the red things here.
Yeah, that gets so good.
Yeah, she Tiff is very photogenic. I mean, like,
oh, look at that! Nice hat.
That's my wife, baby.
That's a trilby.
Jesus.
Look at that, man. Look at her right there. Like, oh my gosh. And then, but yeah, here's
that's a nice look.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah.
yeah. She had that for a minute, and then yeah. So here's a little bit better of a thing on there. So so that was that. But then let me pull up the blue.
I think Enosh is gonna have to get very careful with the folders he clicks on for public consumption at this point.
Yeah, like I don't want you want to open your private stuff. Wink, wink.
No,
or we wind up pulling like a thing with you did with Andre. Can you close the tab there?
Yeah, no.
We don't want to see you a picture with Nicotina's mom.
Oh,
yeah, we wouldn't want to show Nicotina's mom on.
God, that got out of hand quick.
I haven't talked to Nicotina in a few days, actually. Like, what's he been up to?
He's been working.
Yeah.
So here she is with a little bit of the blue there. You can see that kind of like this. This was after it had been in for a while, but you see there just like how it was like bright, in some places.
Yeah.
Like you, and then I like this one.
That kind of hair can make you look like a punk rock person.
Yeah, if you look in here, like if you're able to zero in, there's like a little bit of hint of reds and blues, and then like it's like teal and the bright blue, and then she had the blonde and her natural color, and so it was like something you could never probably recreate, but like everybody loved it. Everybody really, really loved it, and so yep, that's my wife.
Happy birthday.
That's her birthday today. So yeah. That's my girl. That's my girl.
My favorite daughter-in-law.
Oh no. Tiff doesn't mind. Look, you know what? I people joke with me all the time there because like people will sometimes message me, and as long as somebody's being respectful, like I don't mind, and Tiff doesn't mind. But like I've had a couple people, who are like, dang man, your wife is hot, man, whatever, and they say something inappropriate. But like as long as people keep it cool, I'm just like right, like yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, why would I be upset that somebody thinks my wife is beautiful? Like that's.
And I'm just looking at the counter in the corner. I'm like, and you said we wouldn't have a 3-hour stream.
I know.
Every time I try to like avoid it, I was sitting in bed going, I could just play video games, or I could go talk, see what's going on.
I watch something. Oh, hang out with my friends.
Heck yeah. But yeah. So that's Tiff. She's had a lot of different hair colors, and she pulls them off too. I tell you what, she's just got she's got that kind of face. She can pull it off. But I like her as a blonde. I like the platinum blonde thing. So that's my thing.
I'm more of a glass tiger kind of guy myself, but like that's a terrible.
What?
No, it's a terrible joke.
What does that mean?
Glass tiger. I've never heard that.
I apologize. Glass Tiger are a Canadian pop rock band, particularly popular in the 1980s, as was a band called Platinum Blonde. So that was
like, is that a thing that I don't know what that is?
It's Canadian, so you definitely don't know what it is.
There's a lot of Canadian stuff that I know what it is.
I mean, like you've probably heard of Kim Mitchell. I would assume you personally, maybe. He was in Max Webster.
Okay.
Anyways, they toured with Rush. I figured just because, Detroit's not far from Sarnia, and he's from Sarnia. So.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time in Sarnia. My old my friend Matt is in Sarnia. And,
nice.
Or he was, and so I used to go to Sarnia a couple times a month. Man, I re-recorded one of my band's albums in Sarnia.
Really?
Yeah, there's a making of video here on the channel that it's the making of our album, and it's us filming it in Sarnia, and we did a bunch of all these we did all of these stupid things because we were waiting to transfer some files, some like digitally, because this is back in 2001, so we were kind of recording in a different kind of way.
Okay.
But so my drummer had pre-recorded his drums at home, and so we were sending them over here. But yeah, this is Matt. Oh man, his son's like all grown up now. There I am.
Oh, look how young you look.
I've got frosted tips.
What are you looking at?
Well, it was 2001. So.
Yeah,
How many years ago was this?
Oh, this is 2001.
Wherever the
Oh wow!
feet shall trod.
I was barely a baby that year.
So I claim Canada and see just how the
No, you don't.
process goes. How about that? So let's go in.
The riveting stuff at first here, like come down in the basement. They're all just sitting around. But we started doing these testimonials. So the joke was the very first demo tape that my band Antioch ever did. It took us a year and a half to put it together. And so when it was finally done, the guy who made it, he named it, like he sent it out to have it put on audio cassettes. Remember those? And he didn't ask me what I wanted to name the album. And so he just named it, Can You Believe It's Finally Done?
Wow.
Basically, we showed up because it was his band and my band. My friend Matt, who's standing right there, he was in that band with my friend Kevin. They were in a band called Blood and Fire. And we did things with them. Like every time my band played, they played with us. Every time they played, we played with them. We were like sister bands and stuff. And so our friend Kevin had a studio, and he was the drummer for Matt's band. And so we were all going to play in Virginia at this big festival. And we were so excited because we were getting our tapes and stuff, and we pick them up and they say, Can you believe it's finally done on there? And I was like, what the heck, Kevin? I'm like, come on, man. He's like, well, I just thought it was funny. It took us so long to get it done. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Nobody else knows that. Like, you know what I mean? Like what it's an in joke that nobody's going to understand. Like, there's not a song on there called Can You Believe It's Finally Done, which he joked, and he goes, well, there's a song on there called Get It Done. It's like, shut up. But so anyways, so with this album, we were joking like what we were going to call it. We ended up calling the album Purpose because we had a song called Purpose. But we were joking about what we were going to call it, and we were joking because people used to think that we had broken up because our bass player left and just me and my drummer were doing stuff, and Matt actually left Blood and Fire and came and played with us. He's a phenomenal guitar player. I can show you some of the stuff that he does on here. But he's like literally the best guitar player that I personally know. Amazing guy. This guy is now a singing impressionist, and he's actually a guy. He works on cruise ships now.
Oh, really?
He works for Royal Caribbean. Yeah, he can't do it right now because they're grounded. But yeah, he works for Royal Caribbean now, and so phenomenal guy, amazing musician. But we were joking like, what should we call this album? So the last one was Can You Believe It's Finally Done? We were joking we should call this one Yeah, They're Still Together. Right?
That's terrific.
So it's going to be Antioch. Yeah, they're still together. We weren't serious, but so we started doing. Matt used to do all these video tricks that we did when we were touring. We've got hours and hours of videotapes of us like walking around doing stupid little skits and stuff while we were on tour and in the van and out of the van and at hotels and stuff. And so this is what spawned this all because Matt had just joined the band, and so he leans over to me here in just a second and he says, "Hey, have you ever done like any of these like cool little video tricks?"
That's awesome because I was telling Andy how much you guys suck. I mean, like me even doing this is an insult. I'm glad no one's going to know about it. Again, for the viewers, I did say this was Antioch stuff, so I mean, that it's got to sing. That's good. You're getting it done. And what does Andy do when the rest of us are trying to record an album here and trying to get out a ministry tool? Andrew plays.
Wow.
Galaga.
Nice one going blast with the past.
That man is playing Galaga. He probably wouldn't notice, but we did.
He's like, I'll sacrifice my own son to give these guys talent. So we started
with Antioch or signing poo-poo. Try to do it again. Good boy. He didn't even look. He's good. There you have it, folks. This should be a wonderful project and album to listen to. You see the stairs. What's he looking at?
Look how happy you looked back then.
I know, it was fun.
as I said before,
It was a fun time.
kind of like
This is funny. This is funny. He started doing all these skits and stuff.
Oh, is that the?
Hey, Matt! Hey, you're not trying to just look at these headphones. You want some? Oh, no thanks, man. Sorry about that, but I just ate a roll of toilet paper myself. Hey, speaking of toilet paper, did you hear that new Antioch CD?
Oh my god!
I thought they broke it up.
Oh my goodness.
No, man, that was just a rumor. They're actually in the process right now of putting out a new CD. Did someone say something?
Man, you're acting like Phil Hartman going, yeah, I'm good.
Sure.
Acts like Phil Hartman, looks like Bob Hartman.
Antioch. No! I heard they broke up. Well, according to Enoch, she says they're still together. Enoch, what is it called? Yeah, they're still together. Well, yeah, I know that, but what's it called? Trying to know, what is it called, Enoch? Yeah, they're still together.
So stupid.
Well, I understand that, but what is it called?
So it's a who's on
How
first.
many times do I have to tell you? How many times do I have to tell you?
Oh, this is parodying the whole first base thing.
For the last time, what's it called? Look, this is the last time I'm telling you. Yeah, they're still together. Oh. Coming soon. Antioch. Yeah, they're still together. Together forever. Yeah.
No matter how long.
This testimony.
Testimonial. Take one. I am Burt Reynolds. I know I don't look like Burt the way you know him on TV, but that's because I failed to buy the Antioch CD. Don't make the same mistake.
Wow.
Oh, it gets worse.
Okay, you gotta wait for the
Gets worse.
Antioch testimonial. Take two. I used to not have any friends. Nobody liked me. I would try and I would try. It seemed like nothing I did got me any friends. But since I got Yeah, We're Still Together by Antioch, I feel like I have friends. I just pop in my CD and listen all day long. Antioch's my friend. Really, they are.
Well, years later, you got us now, man.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's an upgrade.
Promo, take three. Hi. I used to sit at home daily playing my computer. I was really bored. But now I own a successful computer business thanks to Antioch. I just want to say thanks, Antioch.
Oh.
It comes in a minute. He goes, I used to be a fat guy.
Testimonial, take four.
No, this is funny.
Hi. I used to fool my fans. And I still do, but now I do it listening to Yeah, We're Still Together.
There was today's sponsor, Doom Collax.
Exactly.
Antioch testimony, take five. I used to be a woman, but now, thanks to Antioch, I'm the manly man that I am now.
Oh.
If it weren't for Antioch, I'd still be wearing a skirt. Thanks, Antioch.
Oh.
Oh man, 2001 humor.
I
right?
know, right? Right? Yep.
Antioch testimony, take six.
He's an actual farmer.
I used to be one of them fat guys.
Oh.
Well, no, it was supposed.
You know, I used to be one of those fat guys like that. Antioch testimony, take seven. Action. You know, I used to be a real fat guy one time in my life.
Ooh, that's
but
a
now
gut.
I'm this slender guy that stands before you thanks to Antioch. And I just want to give my appreciation and say thank you, Antioch. You guys rock. Antioch testimonial, take eight. Good evening, friends. I used to be schizophrenic. But ever since I listened to Yeah, We're Still Together by Antioch, I am now fine. What was that?
Take Rollins line.
That's terrific.
Hi there. I used to have a large butt on my face. A large butt? How could that happen? Hey,
No
I don't
comment.
know either. But it was there, a large butt. But then I listened to Antioch, and they got off my face. Thanks, Antioch. Now I can breathe freely.
And I can act drunk.
Somewhere Matt Jarbo's got a joke.
Take that. Yeah, I had to.
No, it's too easy. Writes itself.
We were thinking about getting rid of, but you know what? We played that Antioch CD tour. You know that one that says they're still together. And guess what? We can't keep the trucks in fast enough. She's producing so much milk. Thank you, Antioch. Antioch testimonial.
This is
Take
funny.
11.
Oh, Kinky said you look like David Hayter back in the day.
Yeah, I went and bought the Antioch Yeah, We're Still Together CD. Man, it absolutely sucks. I have never put anything on my. I'm afraid to even play my CD. Hey. Sir. Yeah. The Antioch Suck testimonials. 2 doors to the right. Oh, my mistake. Okay. Yeah, they're filming those down there. Don't buy it. All right. Thanks very much, sir.
All right, guys, I have to get going. It's funny looking at like a Lance Bass version of Enosh here.
Hey.
Look, I'm just saying the frosted tips didn't work for NSYNC. They don't work for you. Just be glad we're all older and learn from our mistakes.
That was the thing back then, man.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was alive back then too. I was around that same age back then too. No, it was not.
Everybody had them, dude.
Were you living in where you were in Vegas at the time?
No, I was in Michigan.
Oh, well, that makes sense. It's like they're culturally behind by like 8 years anyway.
Well, like you just said, NSYNC had them.
And now Jarbo wants to say bye.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a nice segue. That's a great segue. I don't remember any other.
You still have that happen as Enosh?
I sure do.
That thing is.
Yep, I sure do.
So, like, did you guys ever like sell any copies of your album?
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny? Somebody actually, ironically, just posted that they found their CD the other day and posted this album on their Facebook page and tagged us.
Wow.
Is that a frame his head?
Well, good. At least some history.
Yeah, man.
Was able to be saved.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just tired. That's why.
Okay.
I'm just getting sleepy. I passed. This has been a long day. All right, everybody.
All right, man. Hey, guys.
I'll see you all later.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We had some.
Yes.
We talked about all the stuff. No, we don't eat each other at the end. I don't know what that means, but yeah, no.
Someone said like he was like David Hayter back in his day.
Who's David Hayter?
David Hayter played was the voice of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid games.
Oh, really?
He also was one of the screenwriters of the 2000 X-Men movie. He's done a couple of things.
Matt's just like, I don't care about this.
And he's also met Carl Urban.
Oh man. Well, you know, it's fun though sometimes to look back on like old stuff and see the silliness of where you came from.
Yes. Oh, it's great.
Some of the dumb stuff that you did. And,
it was nice to see a very young Enosh.
Yep, that was me. Man, that was, oh my God, 2000. So that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I was only 1 year old in that year. I was only a baby.
I was 24.
Yeah, and I was not that. But I had a weird moment like that too, because it's also was around now when I was just walking through my local Walmart, and they had some. This will just be for me, but like they had some Naruto DVDs, and they had a sticker on the front of one of the box sets that was like this year, last year was the 20th anniversary of the first issue of the manga, like the first chapter of the manga, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
wow,
what, where. Oh, I feel old. Like it's a strange feeling, that's for sure.
Oh, sure. You know, I mean, there's so many things that like when you
oh, that's nice.
When you look back at like all the things that you've experienced over time, right?
Pelican saying take Tiff to her favorite breakfast place for her birthday.
What's that?
Pelican 74.
Pelican 74 saying take Tiff to her favorite breakfast place for her birthday.
Well, see, that's kind of one of the funny things now, though, is that because we eat the way that we eat now, we don't eat at restaurants very much at all.
Okay.
Just because we're just I'm sorry. I saw the I didn't see the super chat. Thank you so much, Pelican 74. You are awesome, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. This is I get it now. Take Tiff to her favorite. I was looking at something off screen. Take Tiff to her favorite breakfast place for her birthday. Well, I will take her someplace special for sure. I appreciate that. Yeah, we don't eat out a lot at restaurants. Like, obviously right now you can't actually go to restaurants. Like, with the stuff that we do, like every once in a while we'll go to like a Chipotle or a Qdoba, something like that, where it's like something fresh.
Mm-hmm.
We do drink a lot of coffee, though. We do drink a lot of coffee. I do.
I'm all hyper, and so much coffee.
Yep. Tiff and I met. Actually, Tiff and I have known each other for.
I love this story.
I certainly will, man. I certainly will. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, man, for sure. So how Tiffany and I met? We've known each other now for over. Oh my gosh, we met in like 2008.
2008.
No, I'm sorry, not 2008. No, 1998. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
98. So Tiffany and I have known each other for like 23 years now. We met each other in just outside of London, Ontario, Canada, in a place called Ingersoll, and we were at this camp where my band was playing. Me and the guy who was just in there, Matt. He was in Blood and Fire at the time with my friend Kevin. And if you guys have ever heard of 1,000 Foot Crutch, the band 1,000 Foot Crutch. They were like young teenagers, and they were playing there that night.
1,000 Foot Crutch. Wow.
1,000 Foot Crutch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
was
so
Matt the bassist during your time with John Schlitt?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why he looked familiar. Okay.
Yep, he sure was. And so so we managed the stage as well as both of our bands were playing, because my friend Kevin brought sound. He was had a studio and he was a sound guy. And then my friend John, who played keyboard with me with John Schlitt, and later played with me in my band Some Strange Way, I had just met him, and he came and he brought Tiffany. He worked at a church, and he was like Tiffany's youth pastor. And so he brought Tiffany to help with, because we were running sound and lights and everything. And so we needed all this help to move all this equipment. And so they showed up, and Tiffany and I got put on light duty. So we had to like string out all the cables for the lighting and set out all the lighting and stuff, because we're lifting it up into the rafters and stuff. And so we're sitting, and we were working till like 5-6 in the morning that night. And Tiffany and I got on this funny thing about the male and female ends of cables, because you got a male end and you got a female end. And because she asked me, she goes, "Hey, how do you know which is the male end and which one's the female end?" And I said, "Well, you see, the male end, they're like, when a male cable end likes the female cable end, they go and So, and so we laughed about it. We laughed about it. We had a good joke about it. But the thing was like, there was nothing really romantic about it. We were just kind of having fun, like we were just laughing and joking and until 5-6 in the morning with everybody else, And my girlfriend at the time, Landon's mom, we had just started dating. We had been only dating for maybe like 2 or 3 months at that point. And Tiffany had been dating Isaac and Logan's dad for a while. And there were some weird things that were going on, because like he took off on this thing and like did like this vacation out of the country. To decide whether or not, Tiffany says that she should have known then that something was up, because like he wanted to decide whether or not they were still going to be the thing, and and you know, like I was doing fine with Landon's mom. You know, we had just been dating and stuff, and so, but she wasn't there, and so she showed up the next day, and you know, like I just introduced her to Tiff, you know, and I just thought Tiff was a cool person. That's it. You know, Tiff had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend. There was nothing, you know, it was just friendly back and forth. And anyway, so Tiffany became a good friend of mine for all those years. And we used to laugh because Tiffany got on my nerves. We had AOL back then, you know, for our internet provider. And Tiffany was like one of my like 5 friends on AOL. And I'd be working, you know, like recording music or whatever late into the night. And I would go to get offline. And she would always seem to pop up at the wrong time, 1, 2 in the morning, and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'd just be like, "Oh, come on, man. No, I don't want to talk to her right now." And so we laugh about that now because it's really funny. But, but, you know, she went on with her life. She had 2 kids. You know, she was married. I ended up, you know, married as well and had Landon. And we were just friends. And then I started working at this church, and I needed some singers. I needed some people for my band there. And they lived closer to me than they lived to the church that my buddy John was at. And so John suggested that I talk to them because they were driving 45 minutes over there. And so I called her and I said, "Hey, you know, would you and, you know, her husband be willing to, you know, come and try out our thing?" Because we were starting a church is what we were doing.
Wow.
And so yeah, and so they were like, yeah, so they came and visited and they liked it. And so Tiffany joined my group and we were all friends. I was friends with her husband, and you know, he was actually a big Superman fan too, and so it was cool, and like we all got along and everything. And you know, then life happens sometimes, you know, and it throws weird curveballs at you. And so it did with her, and she ended up not married anymore. And she was going through some issues, and actually it was kind of funny because I was one of the guys trying to help. Me and my wife were trying to help them with some situations and talking to him, and it just wasn't happening. And so you know, I often joke that I was like Sir Mix-a-Lot because after not too long after that, I went through my own things, and people check out and people decide that, you know, they decide those things. Tiffany and I were both in situations, I won't get into all the details, but we were both in situations where we liked being married. We wanted to stay married. We took it very seriously. And I think you all can see that from the life that we have now is we were very committed. We were very committed to our lives, to our former spouses. And we did not ever want to be divorced. And, you know, but the thing about that is it always takes 2 people, and sometimes one person can make a decision that, you know, you don't have any recourse on. And so that's what happened to us. And so we both ended up in the situation. So I often joke that because after that there were some tensions between me and her ex-husband because he didn't like the fact that she ended up with me because he liked me a lot before. And so we had some interesting exchanges and stuff. And I actually thanked him one day. I said, "Thank you for making me the happiest man on the planet." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "If it wasn't for you, I would not be with this amazing woman. And you didn't appreciate what you had, and I definitely do." And so I joke that I'm like Sir Mix-a-Lot. They toss it and leave it, and I pull up quick to retrieve it. And so I did that, and Tiffany and I.
That's how it always goes.
We didn't start dating right away. I mean, like we had no intention of dating. I mean, honestly, there was nothing like that going on. I did not rush back into dating after I went through my situation. I literally avoided it. I went out on like a couple of dates and was just not having it. And Tiffany was really not looking to get back into the dating scene. And we had some people pushing us together at our church, and they did. And so I was very reluctant and didn't want to ask her out. And so I ended up asking her out. I took her to a Weird Al Yankovic concert. And I figured, you know what? That's the best way to know. If she balks at the Weird Al concert, I know that it wasn't meant to be, because I'm not going to make. I had determined within myself that if I ever got married again, there were going to be some things that I would make sure of before, you know.
Well,
and
I think it was I think it was fate that you and her partner ended up leaving, so you two could be together.
Well, you know, and sometimes, you know, that's how it is. And you know, so I asked her out. We went to go see Weird Al. She loved it. Then I took her to a baseball game that summer, and we had a good time. But we didn't make anything official. We just went on those couple of dates. We took our kids to the zoo, and that was it. And then we started kind of talking. And ironically, it was kind of like a lot of you guys, because I did this online radio show, and there was a chat room during our show, and she was always in the chat because she listened to the radio show. And people started telling us while I was doing the show, kind of like this, that we should go out. And we kind of avoided it. And then we were talking one day, and I ended up asking her out on Facebook. There's a Facebook thread where I got into a fight with my ex-wife, and I was so ticked off, and I was just being cheeky and kind of funny. And I posted a post that I said, you know what? I need to find a woman who's less fighty and more lovey. And people laughed about it, thought it was funny. And Tiffany responded differently. Tiffany responded and said, I'm not fighty. And I said, oh, really? And I kind of jokingly said, kind of, you know, flirty a little bit. I said, are you applying for the position? And she said, well, maybe. What all does it entail? And so I kind of put this list of funny things together. And I said, look, first of all, you need references. And we did it like a job interview. It was so funny. It was so cute. It was so innocent. I said, I've got some questions for you. So I did it like a job interview. And so I asked her things like, you know, like, where was Luke going when his uncle wanted him to go take care of the droids? And I gave her this whole list of things like, you know, what is Superman's dad's name? I asked her actually what Palpatine's name is, what Emperor Palpatine's name was. And this was before we knew that his name was Sheev, you know, and there were like all these other, you know, things possible out there. Well, she literally went down the line and she answered every question. And so that was fun. And then so some of our friends started coming forward and saying, I vouch for her. Yeah, she's really great. You know, she's a really great girl. I think she'd be good for you. And it was just kind of a fun thing that kind of everybody was kind of in on the joke, you know, and that lasted forever and went down this line. And so then finally I said, well, you know, Tiff, I said, all your references check out. And I said, you know, you seem to be very enthusiastic about the job. And, you know, all of you, I love your questions. I love your answers, you know, that you gave to all the questions. And I said, so I guess there's only one thing left. I said, you know, I said, I guess here in front of God and all of our Facebook friends,
will you marry me?
no, will you be my girlfriend?
Oh, okay.
I was asking her out, and she said, yeah. Well, then the crazy thing was we lived an hour apart, so I didn't get to see her for 3 days. So we ended up talking on the phone for 3 days. And then when I finally saw her that weekend, it was, you know, it was a lot of fun.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, but that was 2010 on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 2010. So 214 means more to me than just Zack Snyder or just Valentine's Day. That's the day Tiffany and I started dating. And then almost a year later, yesterday is when I asked her to marry me. And I did it in a fashion where I did like a what is that called? Like a flash mob kind of thing.
Okay.
Yep. I planned this whole thing at our mall in the center court, and I had a bunch of friends there. We had about 150 people that were friends and family for us, and then there were about 300 more who were in the mall. We had to shut down portions of the mall and the escalators and stuff because our food court is up on a second. There's actually a video of this. I'd have to find it, but. We I had all of our friends kind of float down to her off the escalator, and so that was pretty funny. And so actually that'll be that video will probably end up showing up here in the next day or two in my memories, because every year it shows up at the same time because we posted it, you know. And I'm trying to think of the lady though who posted, because I was going to see if I could pull it up, but I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. But no, so I sang to her. I had some buddies set up because it was right around, you know, tonight was the Royal Rumble, and we were big into wrestling. Our boys were into wrestling, and Tiffany and I had been dating for over a month or over a year at that point. And so I made up this big, huge thing telling her that I needed to go to the mall because we had friends coming from out of town that we didn't get to see a lot, and we were going to go out to dinner. And I put together this whole elaborate thing that our friend Stacy took her away, and then I rushed and got to the mall, and then I called her up and I said, "Oh my gosh, this whole thing happened, and I got to go get Landon, and it's just crazy, but my cousin's going to meet me out at the mall over by where the restaurants are." I said, "So you guys just come and meet me at the mall, and I'll see you guys there." And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "You know, do you just want to meet us at a restaurant?" I said, "No." I said, "Just meet me at the mall. We'll figure out where we're going to go." I said, "Because they got a big promotion going on right now where they're giving away 4 tickets to WrestleMania." And I said, "So I want to go, you know, do that. I've been wanting to do that." And I had already kind of told her about that. And so when they showed up, my bass player, my old bass player, Bud, and my drummer, who's still my drummer, Aaron, they were there, and Bud ran sound for a bunch of different things. So she didn't think anything of it to see Bud there. And they were playing, I had all these wrestlers themes playing in the mall.
Nice.
And so she thought it had to do with the Royal Rumble that day. And so they all came, and they were sitting down at the bottom of the escalator, and then all of a sudden the music changed, and it was Neil Diamond's "Hello Again," which is a special song for us because I love the jazz singer with Neil Diamond. And so all of a sudden the music starts playing, and all of our friends and family start coming down the escalator and surrounding her down there in the center court. And then my buddy handed her a microphone, and our song is "Lucky" by Jason Mraz. And it's a duet. And so she asked why she needed the microphone. And Bud just told her, "You'll know when the time is." And so then the music starts, and the boys came down and all gave her flowers, and her mom and dad came down. My grandma came down the escalator. And so then I'm standing up on the top of the escalator there, and I start floating down to her as the music starts playing. And that song goes, "Do you hear me? I'm talking to you across the water, across the deep blue ocean, under the open sky, oh my, and baby, I'm trying." And then she comes and has to sing, "Boy, I hear you in my dreams." But by that time she was crying because she realized what was up, and she's bawling, and she's like trying to get through the song. So I got down to her by the time my verse was done. And then we sing the chorus together. Lucky, I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. And so, so then we did that whole thing. And then I got down on one knee and I asked her to marry me. And she said yes. Yeah. And the entire mall went crazy. And I'll share the video. I'll share the video this week when it pops up again, or when I find it. I'll share it for sure. But yeah, so I asked her to marry me, and then I Rick rolled her. Yep. Never gonna get.
And she still decided to marry you. So
Oh heck yeah!
She's
heck
one
yeah,
special
man.
lady.
Heck yeah! And so yeah, and then we got married that summer in 2012 on a beach. Yeah. So. Yeah, so it's
that was The Gift was the name of the song that she walked down.
Yeah, she walked down to a song called The Gift, which was nice. And then we walked out to to, if you guys have ever watched the show The Whitest Kids You Know.
No, but if you tell me the song, I might know it.
It's a sketch comedy show. The Whitest Kids You Know is a sketch comedy show. And it's very it can be very inappropriate sometimes.
Like an M-rated state kind of thing.
Yeah. But they have their theme song isn't really a theme song. It's just them going do 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 Ah, do 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 do. And so we walked out to that. Nobody knew what that was, but it was something we watched the show all the time. And so,
Oh goodness.
yep. So that's how we met, started dating, and got married. And here we are 23 years later, and we've been married now for this year will be 9 years. And yeah, man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. I couldn't ask for anything better.
That was fun, but I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So that's your story for the night, guys.
And what better way to end the stream?
Exactly.
As the last little,
Absolutely.
little love letter to the birthday lady.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Your marriage song was Enter Sandman. Wow, that's aggressive.
Hang on. I'm just going through the lyrics to see if I'm like that.
Say your prayers, it's the one. Don't forget my son to include everyone.
Oh, nah.
I took you in one more there. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to marry a woman that you're saying you're going to sleep with one eye open. Like,
no kidding.
Pillow tight. No, I'm just.
Well, it's like
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
That's fun stuff. But anyways, guys.
And with that.
Yes. Well, hey, TW, thanks Theo for being here tonight. Thanks to everyone who was here tonight. We had some fun. I like doing these kind of streams every once in a while where it's like, just hanging out and chilling and talking.
Yeah.
So it's fun. All right, guys. Well, hey, tomorrow I'll be sending out a thing. We will have a special birthday thing. It'll probably, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and because we want to do it a little early and not have to go too late. But we'll have a special birthday stream. So if you can and you're around, stop by tomorrow, say hi and say happy birthday to Tiff. I know she'll appreciate it. She'll love it. It was her idea. She said, "Hey, can we do a birthday stream?" And I said, absolutely, we could do that for you, babe. So come back.
It's her birthday. She can stream if she wants to.
Exactly. Well, hey guys, thank you guys for all being here. I always have a great time with you guys, and thanks for being with us along on the journey. All right. Until next time, my name is Enosh, and along with Theo here, just saying, stay nerdy. Thanks to everybody who was here tonight, even Matt Jarbo, when he comes in with his hot takes on stuff and his inappropriate jokes, it's all good, man. It's just, it makes it all fun, and I appreciate that. So, guys, love y'all. Have a great night wherever you are, or a great day wherever you are. Enjoy your time, and you know what? Enjoy those that you're around. Give people an extra hug. Tell your family that you love them. Call mom. Call grandma. Call your dad if you have him. I was raised without my dad. Now I have my dad in my life, and so
that's great.
Don't take things for granted. But treat everybody with respect, and as long as you do that, guys, like I always say, you'll have a place here in the Poindexter Lounge. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Nerdy.
Bye-bye.